Down, down, down. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into the Elks Call, your home for Edmonton Elks fan talk. My name is Scout, aka the rep from Section X, and we couldn't be more thankful to have you for this episode. If you could please hit the like, subscribe, and favorite buttons, as your support means everything to us here at Shotgun Sports Network. All right, today we are going to bring you the best of the Double E, best of the Edmonton Elks from Season 3 of the Elks Call. In this episode, we did talk to Double E Ambassador Taylor McPherson. She talked about a number of topics, including her involvement with the Indigenous Sports Council of Alberta. And then, of course, we talked to Mosimann, PA announcer for the Edmonton Elks. After that, we do have Aaron Grymes on here, and then we have a conversation with Justin Rankin to finish off this episode. So it was a really, really fun season. Really thankful for Mike Arcuri and the Edmonton Elks for allowing us to talk to members of the organization. Didn't talk to so many players this year, but just to get some form of connection there as well. And I mean, it's a busy season, so we can't always get players, but it was fantastic. Really thankful to the Double E for allowing these people to join us. And of course, thanks to everybody for joining us as well. So without further ado, let's dig into the best of the Double E on Season 3 of the Elks Call. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show U of A alum, winner of the Amazing Race Canada Season 10, and Edmonton Elks ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Taylor McPherson.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
Did that thing you watched the Amazing Race finale last night?
I did watch it.
And did you get any nostalgia there? Any good flashbacks?
I did. I literally got like so many goosebumps when the winners ran across the line. I don't really want to say it because I don't want to be like, that spoiler alert person. Then I'll have people coming for me online after this. But when I saw them come across, goosebumps, tears, all the feels that I was feeling last year when it happened to Katie and I. And I actually went back and like rewatched her reel this morning while I was at work. I was rewatching, like us running down into the Elks Stadium. We're coming, John. And I was just sitting there like crying goosebumps.
Oh my goodness. I bet. Especially, having back-to-back Edmonton finalists, right? So that's super cool.
Very big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were definitely cheering for Nippy and Superfan Magoo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will let everybody.
We won't spoil it here.
Yeah.
We won't spoil it here.
We'll try not to.
Try not to.
We say save it for the show before the show. I don't even save it for the race. I don't know, for the Amazing Race. Save it for your own TV at home. Taylor, we are super appreciative of your time tonight. For our sports fans, if you do have a question, please be sure to throw it in the herd chat once again, and we will try to get them onto the show.
Yeah.
But let's go over question number 1 here. Let's get this started. So, Taylor, we know, we always like to get to know our guests, especially first time being on the show. So we do got to ask, where did your passion for sports come from?
Yeah, of course. So my passion for sport obviously came from wrestling. So I wrestled for the University of Alberta for 6 seasons. But it all started in grade 5 with my grade 5 teacher. He was like this jacked, tatted guy, had WWE posters all across his grade 5 classroom in the Catholic school. So yeah, just painting a picture of where I got my love for wrestling from. And so, he told me that, you're short, you're feisty, you've got the drive, the fire to be a wrestler. And that was all I needed to hear, apparently. And fast forward many, many years later, I wrestled for about 14 years for the U of A. Well, not 14 for the U of A, but 14 years then for the U of A. I've had my opportunity of being on 2 U23 world teams representing Team Canada, won a national championship with U of A. I did a little bit of time in this sport, to say the least. So that's where my love for sports comes from.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's crazy, especially when you start from so young and then you just
Yeah.
continue, then you know for sure that it's a passion, not just,
Yeah.
being part of a sport. But you did
100%.
mention you studied at the University of Alberta, then you
Mhm.
hailed all the way from Calgary, however. But you managed to join the Pandas wrestling team in 2017 for a
Yeah.
6-year tenure, including COVID. What was that experience like?
COVID definitely put a damper on things. That's why I was there for 6 seasons. Although we didn't have, like that one season, I still count it because we still trained all season and competed. Um, but yeah, COVID definitely put a damper on us. But the thing is, being wrestlers, we're pretty stubborn and we don't let anything stand in our way. So we were out in the grass wrestling each other with masks on, wrestling our dogs at home, our brothers. You know how it is. So like,
Anybody.
yeah, training never stopped. But it was pretty cool because during that time too, we also because we weren't technically allowed to like compete or wrestle in the room, we actually redid our wrestling room. So it was like way before it was like blue and red and just like not U of A at all. And now it's like this bright, obnoxious yellow, green wall pads around it with our logos on it, and then our mats match it. And just being a part of rebuilding our room and making it our own is it's a core memory. It's something I'll hold with me forever because there's been so many blood, sweat, and tears shed in that room. And to now have my name on the back of one of those boards too as one of those rebuilders, it was a pretty big deal for us during that time.
Oh, definitely. Do you have plans to continue wrestling?
No, so I kind of stopped wrestling, I guess 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. I kind of moved more into the coaching role. So although I stopped wrestling, I did coach with the U of A Pandas the last 2 years. I've been to 2 Canada Summer Games, a North American Indigenous Games, Alberta Winter Games. So putting in that work as Coach T now.
Oh, I love it.
And
That's so cool.
you were out east. What was that one for again? Just a couple
Yeah,
months ago.
yeah. So I was just in Newfoundland for the 2025 Canada Summer Games. So I had the opportunity of being the women's head coach for the women's wrestling team um, this summer, which was a pretty big deal. Going from an apprentice coach the first games to a head coach was a big leap.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Hmm.
Especially wrestling. I don't know, my boy takes jujitsu, and that's a different type
Hmm.
of wrestling, but again,
Yeah.
that is such a hard sport. It's so physically demanding, and it may not necessarily look like it, but it's difficult. It's pretty it's pretty rough. So
Yeah, I'm biased, but I always say it's the hardest sport in the world. And, I always find it funny when people try to compare their sports to us. My little brother, he used to play for the University of Calgary Dinos football team. And, one day he was like, oh, maybe I'll go back to wrestling. I was like, yeah, go do it. And he called me right after practice. He was like, Taylor, it's like, man, wrestling is easily one of the hardest sports in the world. I was like, yeah, go tell your little football buddies that too. So
oh,
drag
call them
football
out.
players there, but
Oh, I love it, calling them out. Yeah, and we know that. We tried to playfully wrestle, and then we end up with sprained necks. So,
Yeah.
it's a no-no.
You got, now I
Amazing.
do have to ask because you are from Calgary. Was there any, sort of rivalry feelings or anything like that when you made the decision to sign with U of A?
honestly, no. I mean, I did get an offer from U of C, but I just at the time I felt U of A was the right move for me, and I was really happy moving to U of A. The team atmosphere was phenomenal, and they're my family now. So Edmonton is a place I gladly call home as well. So yeah,
Love it. The green and gold is bold.
Yeah,
it
Love to see
is.
it in any capacity, right? Now,
any
Yeah,
capacity.
any capacity. And also go
exactly.
Bears, go Pandas. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
love it. Love it. Now, many fans do know you from the Amazing Race Season 10. By some chance, yourself and Katie avoided elimination earlier on and had a chance to win it all in the final episode just over a year ago. So, What was it like to finish the race in Edmonton? I know you kind of spoke on it a bit, but
it was like it was I still am at a loss for words, like, a year later. It was just unbelievable to me. At first, we ripped open that clue and I was like, "Ah, Edmonton, really? Like, we're going back home?" And then we were like, "Wait, we're going back home." You know? So it almost felt like this little extra pressure drive to win it all because it's like, we're in our home city now, like, we gotta do this thing. But we didn't put too much pressure on ourselves. We were just like, you know what, we might have an advantage. And I think, to come running down those Commonwealth stairs, the same section that I've literally walked down for events that I host with the Elks, it was a pretty big deal. I was like, I know what section, I know what door we need to run in, I know what section we got to run down. Like, let's go. And once we hit that field and then hit that mat, it was just, we were in complete and utter shock. Like, you can tell when you rewatch that video back, we had no idea we had just won. So it's just, even to this day, I still watch the video, I get goosebumps, I cry like a baby, just like I was on the mat. And it was just a full circle moment. A year and a half before that, Katie and I won our national championships together at the University of Alberta. And it was only the second time our women's wrestling team had won the national championships, and we did it in our home gym. And then a year and a half later, we're finishing the Amazing Race Canada on our home turf. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you can't tell me that wasn't meant to be.
Right? Like, chills. I'm getting chills.
Storybook.
Yeah. Like, it's definitely meant to be. And I mean, talking about full circle, now you're a little bit involved with the Edmonton Elks from what we understand. So
Yeah.
what's your role with the Double E and how did that come about?
I mean, so this year, I have the privilege of doing the land acknowledgement at the beginning of the game. So, every one of their home games, I'm up on that big screen, doing the land acknowledgement. But I've also been working with them kind of over the last 4 years to develop our sleepover football camp experience with them. So they've been really great partners, and we've really helped grow this opportunity for a lot of Indigenous youth across the province. So yeah, we've kind of, that relationship has really grown and built over the last 4 years, and this year was one of our biggest and most successful, in my eyes, sleepover football camp experience for the youth. We had about 130, 40-ish people out sleeping over on the Commonwealth Stadium field. Like, pretty big deal. We came a long way from our 30 participants the first year.
I always hear about that, and it's so cool. I think that's a cool experience.
Oh, totally. Well, and I mean, especially with your work with the Indigenous Sports Council of Alberta, right? You've been making a difference, let's say, with the Double E, and then outside of Commonwealth Stadium as well. So, what's your role with the council?
Yeah, so I'm a sports program coordinator. But really, what we like to say is we just wear every hat that we can. We do everything from running programs, speaking at events. I don't even know, social media. We do it all, like, really, within our team, because we are a small team. So we all kind of have to work together to try to bring all of these amazing programs to the youth and to the families, and just connect people through sport, because really that's our mission, is just to get kids on that good path, that sport really provides, for you to develop into a great human in the future. And just that physical health and wellness piece is so important as well.
Well, and I mean, the saying is making a difference in many lives by creating safe and inclusive spaces for Indigenous peoples in sports, right? So it's a great, I don't know if it's necessarily the mission statement, but it's a slogan for you guys over there. And then, of course, the fact that you guys are working with Football Alberta, Football Canada, just even on the football side of things, let alone, hockey or anything else. So
yeah.
Are you in those conversations with them, or?
Yeah, I'm in a lot of the conversations. My Edie and I actually just had the opportunity of going to Winnipeg for the Indigenous football championships, I believe it was. And so we got to go support Team Alberta and just go check out, see what we're trying to do here in the football community, and supporting Indigenous youth to aspire to compete at those more elite and higher levels. So I think that was a big step for our organization to be a part of that, to see it, and obviously continue to commit to doing it. We also work with like our local players here, with the Elks. Some of them in their off season are running their own businesses, running programs, and so we want to work with them and support them, and they want to do the same for us. So collab all day long. So trying to get these kids into football, it's really important, and into sports just in general, right? But since we're on the topic of football.
Yeah. Well, and so many talented players, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much talent out there. And I'd love to see more of that Indigenous talent in the CFL, right? It's Canadian football. So, and I mean, really, it speaks to all of North America as well. But you can only control what's in your own backyard, so to speak. So it's great to see what you're doing over there.
Yeah, it's super commendable. It's
very commendable. Yes, busting out the big words today.
But let's bring it back to something a little bit more fun, per se. Because you play sports doesn't necessarily mean that you watch sports. So we do have to ask: do you follow or watch any sport teams?
I mean, I'm not like a huge sport watcher. I'm not like a diehard sports fan. Of course, I've been following the Elks this season. Proud of how far they've come and what's going on now on the field. Ready to see them keep that momentum up. Always had faith in them. We hosted actually like a little ceremony with them last year, and gifted them elk antlers through a local person, and hosted a ceremony with an elder there and everything, fed them. So, we have this special bond now.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of tying that in a little bit more with what we were just talking about with Indigenous sports as well. The Labor Day rematch brunch.
Yes,
a lot of the funds, I guess, or some of the funds, anyways, were in support of what you're doing. So it's good to see the Elks engaging the right people and engaging the right groups, right? And you're definitely the right people for this job. Now, getting back to Double E, let's talk a little bit about this, the Game Changers camp. So we did hear a rumor that you may be involved with the upcoming Game Changers camp, an all-women's football camp at Commonwealth Stadium on September 25th. So are the rumors true?
The rumors are true. Wow. You guys got awesome insiders. I didn't know it was a big deal, was I?
It's between that and
we over here.
Yeah, well, we go to the Elks team store. As well.
we talk to a lot of people.
That's awesome.
What do you know about McPherson? No. Double E Game Changers. What's going on down at Commonwealth on the 25th?
Well, I mean, I'm participating in it, so I'm ready to play some football, is what I've been told. We're gonna be running some drills with the pros. I don't know if they are ready to see me coming down that field. Like, they better be scared. Like, I hope they don't teach me how to hit. I mean, I already know how to, I guess, but
the tackling station, no problem for Taylor around here. She's just gonna kill it.
You see this like little 4-foot nothing thing flying through the air, right? They'll be like, "What's this like little fly swat?"
Taylor McPherson at linebacker. I can't wait to see it. Or maybe a running back and drop a shoulder somewhere.
Yeah, you never know. But that wrestling experience, perfect.
Yeah.
Funny. And Kat is trying to get in to the Game Changers. I think she's getting really bad FOMO, and I don't think
really bad FOMO. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. An all women's event. It's a big deal. It's a networking opportunity. Just get to connect with all these people around, and I think we get to do something with cheerleading too, or maybe the cheerleaders are there. I'm not graceful at all, but I don't do dancing very well, but I'll try it if I have to.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Catherine's just getting more FOMO now.
Yeah,
You have to come now.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. You'll be there. But yeah, no, I'm excited to hear about this one. It is in support of ovarian cancer research, right? So they are trying to reach $1 million for this event. So yeah, so I mean, what is it? You saw
it cost?
The price was $175.
I can't remember. I believe
like that.
It's $175. But I
Close
mean, it's
enough.
for a really good cause.
Right.
So, and like you say, we don't see a lot of those all women events, right? So especially in sports, which is fantastic.
More inclusivity.
100%. Love it. I love it.
So, yeah.
Are we going to see you at the Indigenous Celebration game on September 27th versus the?
Yes.
I mean, you're doing the announcements.
Oh, no.
No,
I will be there. We're bringing about 100 participants. With ISCA, we had tickets donated to our organization from some sponsors. So obviously very grateful for that. So yeah, we'll be at the game. So we're excited to cheer on the Elks and watch them bring home another W. So let's go.
Need a dub. Wish we were on the last one, but
that's okay.
By the time the 27th rolls around, we'll find out if we desperately need it or just really want it, you know?
Yeah.
We did meet you, though, in the Double E tailgate, so we must ask, especially with you not necessarily, I know that you're more involved now, but maybe you're a little bit fresh to the tailgating scene. What are your thoughts on the big pregame party in Lot B?
You know, I love the big pregame party. I think, they've really stepped it up, actually. I went last season, and it was awesome. It was fun. But I think this season, it's really it's a game changer. It's really stepped up, and it's a fun way to just experience some pregame activities before heading into the stadium. Gets you amped up, gets you ready to go, and you get to meet lots of people around and different community members doing cool things. So, I mean, that's how we got connected. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Oh, exactly. Well, and I mean, there's a lot of people that know each other. There's a lot of people that don't know each other. You get that perfect combo where people introduce each other. Supersized Indiana Jones here in the herd chat agrees. Tailgate has been legit this year. Shout out to fellow SD winner, Supersized Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Let's take a herd chat question here. I did see one from John. I think he's asking, I don't know, you would know a little bit better here, Taylor, but when you were watching The Amazing Race this year, how could someone forget their bag of clothes like Magoo and Nippy in that first episode?
Yeah. I mean, you guys would be surprised with how stressful all of this is. When you're in race mode, you're in race mode. And sometimes you're just seeing tunnel vision. You don't see the things around you. You miss small things. You miss big things. And, it happens. And, although it sucks and a lot of people were surprised, they're like, how does that even happen? I was like, I feel you guys. I feel you. Like it's so easy to do. There were times when Katie and I, especially early on in the race, we literally ran straight past a clue box, and we got into the challenge, and we're like, where did you guys get the clue? Like, how do you know what to do in this challenge? And they're like, it's outside you guys. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
like stuff like that happens, but it's just all part of the game.
Stress, adrenaline, a little bit of everything.
It really is.
It's a little bit more than just forgetting your keys or your wallet or whatever when you leave the house, right? It's just a little bit bigger than that.
It's a big deal. It is your lifeline, kind of. I mean, like, at least you're clean underwear and clean socks, but like, if you had to wear the same clothes for the rest of the race, you're gonna do it if you can keep racing, right?
Wash your clothes every night or something. And I mean, there's certain rules, right? You can't just go out and buy another bag or buy an extra set of clothes or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a head scratcher, but hey, like you said, right? I forget many things on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So
wondering why I couldn't do it. Scout asked me, like, would you do it? And I'm like, well, first of all, I can't swim. Second of all, it's just not like there's a lot of things that would just stress me the hell out.
Well, and it's funny too, like a big shout out to Magoo and Nippy, because in their scenarios when they're getting stressed out, they don't really go at it too hard. They do light criticisms, but then like I've watched past seasons or America or whatever, and people really get into it. Even this season, we saw a couple of a couple of little tiffs that helped back, right? A team back all the way to the last place. So couldn't imagine being in it. So once again, why it's so incredible that you guys got to finish right now.
We'll just live vicariously through other people that go and win it.
Yes, I like that.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, John already. Catherine Sco, you should do the Amazing Race Canada next year. I think we just came up with the decision here live on air.
Never say never.
We'll talk.
He's like, you don't have to swim. I'm like, but what if I do? I'll just drown. No, that's a no.
Nah, they'll give you a life jacket. You'll always be fine. It's all good. They have liabilities too. So
exactly, I can't drown because then you could see them. So
and there's no sharks in the Rideau Canal. So Rito. And I guess another question on top of that. I saw that you went to a pre-party, or sorry, no, it wasn't a pre-party. It was the
watch party.
Watch party, yes.
Yeah.
So, like how many people showed up? Because it looked like it was pretty crammed in there.
It was pretty packed in there. Nippy and Magoo had a really awesome, show up for their semifinals watch party. It was awesome to just see how much of the community came together to support them. And just once again, like goosebumps, because it's like, I remember how that was for Katie and I last season, and just seeing the joy that this show brings and the connection that it has to bring together a city of people was a pretty big deal to me. So, there was easily over 100 people there that night at Rosario's. It was pretty sick.
Oh, that's sick. At Rosario's of all place, home of the best karaoke, right? That's Neil and Hernan and the crew. Yes. No, and that's fantastic. And they were missed around Rogers Place during the playoff run. Everybody was kind of wondering where they were, and then
that made sense.
And then cat out the bag and all that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Last question here. Last question at 26, correct? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, I did do my research.
Yeah.
26, you are making waves. I mean, there's a thing about age and women and all that.
You never ask.
Exactly.
You just don't ask.
Yeah, we just assume, right? So at 26, you're making waves and building on years of success as an athlete, a coach. You're doing motivational speaking now, and more. So, Taylor, we got to ask, what is the next big win for Taylor McPherson?
I don't know yet. Life's changed like so much in this last year. I've been presented with so many amazing opportunities, brand partnerships, speaking engagements, that opportunity to just like give back to the youth, tell them a little bit about my story and, how far sport brought me. So really, I guess the next bit and, so on and so forth, I just want to continue to inspire our youth and continue driving the importance of sport. I have been working on a program called the Spiritual Holistic Exercise Den. It was something started back in my undergrad with other students, but it was something that I wanted to continue driving. And so, hopefully one day, maybe even make it into its own business or its own nonprofit to give back sport to rural Indigenous communities and get kids in those leadership positions through the program. So maybe soon.
Well, we'll keep an eye for sure. We'll be cheering from the sidelines.
Cheering from the sidelines. Love what yourself and Katie are doing. It's great to see you guys continue impacting somehow, some way post Amazing Race fame. Like we said, and for anybody that's just jumping on now, you missed a heck of a good interview here, especially that first half describing exactly where Taylor gets her passion from. But, you've kind of had that in you all along. Amazing Race pops up, gives you a couple more stepping stones to work with, and now you're taking off. So, yeah, like Kathy said, we're always going to be cheering you guys on. You're awesome stuff. Can't thank you enough. We will not take much more of your time. Taylor, where can our viewers and listeners find you online?
I'm on every social platform pretty much, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Just look up Taylor McPherson or Tay McPherson, and I'll probably pop up on your feed. So, yeah.
There you go.
Love it.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, once again, Taylor, we can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. Fantastic conversation, and we're really excited to see you here soon down at Commonwealth Stadium soon.
Yay.
And I think Kathy's going to see you even sooner for this Game Changers. So,
Awesome. Well, thanks again for having me, you guys, and thanks for everybody who joined to listen to the call. And yeah, it was a pleasure. So we'll see you soon.
Sounds great.
see you soon.
Have a good
Appreciate it.
night, Taylor.
Bye, guys.
And that was Taylor McPherson of the Amazing Race Canada fame, U of A Pandas Wrestling, Go Pandas, Indigenous Sports Council of Alberta. Great conversation.
Yes.
That was
Fantastic
great.
conversation.
We might have you convinced.
I know.
Spaces. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Edmonton sports fan and public address announcer for your Edmonton Elks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Graham Mosimann.
Hi, friends. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. It's still really weird to hear people say public address announcer for the Edmonton Elks. It's never not cool, but it's still deeply strange. Also, okay, whatever. If it's not licensed, but you still want a Baltimore Stallions jersey, that's pretty. I'd buy a Baltimore Stallions jersey. So.
Oh yeah, they got the Kudas jerseys over there. They got the good stuff. Once again, that's royalretros.com. But hey, we're here to talk to Graham. We're really super appreciative of your time tonight. That whole fiasco last night where we were having issues. Sorry about all of that. I know you were.
It's the internet. The internet's dumb and broken sometimes, and that's okay. And we power on through. And it's great. And I'm super excited to be here. I love the show. So it's really fun to be here as a guest. I'm really excited.
Oh, thanks, man. Hey, sometimes we as people are broken. Sometimes our favorite sports teams are broken. We're going to talk about the controversial stuff later on, but let's get started with this. We ask all of our guests the same first question here. Where did your passion for sports come from, Graham?
Oh my God. You know what? I think a big part of it was just wanting to get noticed as the youngest of 7 children. I love my dad very much, but he does collect children like we're pogs.
Oh my goodness.
So there's just a whole pile of us, and I was the second youngest, and so a nice a bonding sport moment was always sports, whether it was listening to Brian Hall call double E games. Because we also lived way out in the country, on a farm past Stony Plain. So the amount of time we would spend driving to football practice or hockey practice, you can do nothing but listen to the radio. So we it was kind of like mainlining Chad pretty much all the time. So that's kind of where it came from. But even my earliest sports memories are quite literally sitting in Commonwealth. Because we didn't have a ton of money growing up, but there was always money set aside for season tickets. So it was my dad, myself, occasionally 1 or 2 of my brothers, and then a whole bunch of other family that were all in the same blob in Upper Section K. And people would come and go through the years, but it was usually that core blob of me, my dad, and then my little brother Levi. And so I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent in Section K, row 64, seats 15 to 17.
That's so cool. So now, are you more excited about being the new PA announcer for the Edmonton Elks, or is your dad more excited?
50-50, solid 50-50. I mean, I was, I darn near almost cried when I got the news. And he was really stoked as well. It was really funny. I found out from a few people around around town that like knew me and knew my dad. It was like, they're like, "Oh, I saw your dad." Like the first thing he mentioned was like, "You're the new Elks PA," and that was like really, dads, they're kind of like stoic and a little tough sometimes. So that was pretty cool. So it's solid 50-50.
That's awesome. How did it happen though? How did you end up? Did you apply for it and then you got the news? How did that?
Yeah, well, kind of, a bit of a roundabout way. Like when I first moved back to Edmonton, so I'm from Stony Plain. Like I was one of two babies born in the Stony Plain Hospital, many moons ago. Well, I guess not that many. I'm pretty young. It's just, I worked in FM radio. Like I was a Nate kid. I went out to like Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, Winnipeg. When I was out in Winnipeg for a little bit, I did a little bit of part-time work with the Bombers. I did some work with the University of Lethbridge. I moved down there, and then just like kind of hosted a lot of like in-game host stuff for a lot of like minor and some university sports. And then I moved back to Edmonton to work at some radio stations here, who I'm no longer with. It was literally on a whim. I was like, "Hey, I'd like to work for the Elks. Maybe this. I don't know. I'll send an email, see if they need someone." And just like by kind of luck, the person was like, "Well, no, we don't." Like I was like, "I'd love to be like an announcer, a host, whatever you got. I don't care. I love to just be a part of things." And they were like, "Well, no, we don't have any of that. Those people are really well set, but we need a new PA spotter." And that's literally the person that like sits next to the PA announcer and like holds up binoculars and like reads out the play. So it'd be like and they're like, "You want to do that?" And I was like, "Sure, that sounds great." And so did that for 3 years. Then new ownership comes by, and I guess they wanted to kind of take a look at things, and the I had kind of put my name forward a couple times if they ever wanted me to do more stuff, because I'd done some on camera work and some announcing with them already. And things just kind of happened. There's an audition process, and kind of went through all that, and then officially got the news, I want to say in late March.
Mhm.
Not late March, probably even around April. After just like checking in, being like, "Hey, like I'd love to come back as the spotter, but like if there's anything else, like let me know what I can do." And so yeah, it all kind of spiraled out from there. So then it was a little weird because like I deeply Corey Graham was the previous person that had this role. I deeply love him. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I'm really grateful to have kind of worked with him for 3 years, and would have been happy to do it for the fourth, but things change and life moves on, and we still have a good relationship. So yeah, I wish there was some like crazy story. It was just like things just kind of happened, and things just kind of I'm really happy. We've done a lot of stuff with the team over the last couple of years, so it was really cool to kind of like move over kind of one chair from where I was, because I was also the PA announcer for Golden Bears and Pandas basketball last year. And Evan Dom, who used to do a bunch of stuff with the U of A before he came over to the Elks, I had asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you like know where I can get more announcing gigs?" And he was like, "Here, let me call the U of A, set up an introduction." So I did kind of U of A stuff, covering all their basketball for a year, and then this kind of came up on top of a bunch of. I do a lot of PA around town. Like I do a lot of minor hockey as well. I do the Edmonton Miners lacrosse, and then just kind of like pick up games here and there. So yeah, on top of like kind of doing this kind of part-time casually, this is just another one that came open, and it's literally been a dream come true so far. And games haven't gone quite our way yet, but like there's like a good energy around the team, even though it's been, last week was real bad, real not good.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that one now.
Oh, do we have to?
No, don't worry. You don't have to talk about it. We will definitely have to talk.
Oh boy.
We would never put our guests in that position.
No.
Believe
It was, there's been better games that we've had. So yeah, that's the kind of long and short of it. And I mean, like for me, it's really cool and special. Like when I was a little guy, I used to like hide a radio piece like in my ears, and like literally just regurgitate what Brian Hall and Dave Campbell would say. And my uncle was like, "Damn, this 7-year-old's really smart." No, he's not. Really not.
That's so cool, though. That's really cool to hear, especially when it's something that you wanted to do since you were a little kid, and then suddenly, you've grown up and your dreams have been realized.
Yeah, in a really weird way. Like I went to Nate wanting to be Morley or Dave. On the play-by-play or announcing side, and like this is the first I've been doing play-by-play now for mostly for like hockey, some lacrosse, a little bit of football for about a year now, and that's been like really fun. But yeah, like the PA stuff is so cool because I don't think this is I also when Chris Sheets retired, I was like, hey, I would love to be the in-game host, and it ended up being Ryder, and it's like I was like obviously disappointed, but like Ryder's amazing. So like I can't be that hurt because he rocks. And so now that like this has happened and we're still like trying to figure out what our back and forth has been an interesting challenge. And it's weird because like I've thought about this stuff so much, but we're literally 4 games in. It's been 4 games, including the preseason. So there's still like a lot of runway to keep making things like as good as they can be. And trying to keep that stadium energy really good.
Well, exactly. And then, you have a task on your own. You're part of that team off the turf, right? And I mean, you've been doing a fantastic job. We love your calls. You've been fantastic out there. And I mean, Ryder, if you're going to lose out on that in-game host job to anybody, Ryder is one hell of a guy to lose it to. So it is what it is on that one.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I'm a big nerd. Like I'm a pretty spiritual guy. Like I'm a very firm believer in that like things happen for a reason, and like by creator puts things in the path that they should be for me, and having that not happen, then having this happen, I didn't see it at the time, but I'm a firm believer that things kind of happen as they're meant to. So it was really cool to kind of see that all kind of come through like a few years later.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so cool. What is it like working for a professional sports team? Like, especially like, let's say with the Double E, and I know that you've had a couple of other part-time gigs as you had mentioned, like let's say with the Bombers, but how special is that? And what is it like? Does it sort of become just like every other job after a while?
I don't know about that. Like it's never. I mean, it's still again. We're 4 games in, so I'm still figuring it out. I think the part where it like really hit is I got an email in the off season saying, "Hey, can you voice some stuff like you would a touchdown call because we want to put it on a commercial and we want to put that out for a thing." And then I did that, sent it off, and then a couple weeks later, this is probably TMI. It's fine, I hope. I started listening to podcasts in the shower all the time because I hook up my Bluetooth speaker, and I was listening to 31 Thoughts, I think, and they're like they go for a break, and then an ad comes on, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a football game. Oh, hey, that's me. And I can like hear the recorded call that I had of like, and now you're starting quarterback number 2, Trey Ford, and I'm in the shower. So like that was a moment that was like, oh dang, okay, here we go. So that was like a pretty cool, like, okay, this is a real thing that's happening. I think the part that like always kind of feels like a little surreal is when like at fan day, I just had a few seconds to like go around and just like chatting with a few players and like walk out of them and be like, hey, I'm Graham, I'm the PA announcer. I've seen 17 different ways on how to pronounce your name. Can you tell me what it is? And then they do, and it's great. So yeah, it is never not kind of cool, especially for someone like grew up around the team. And I live like 3 blocks away from Commonwealth.
Oh,
so like I always see the stadium like whenever I leave for one of my other jobs. So yeah, it's work, but it's also I put a lot of love and care into wanting to make it like the best fan experience because like it's been rough for a few years. Like I don't think there's a way to talk around that. Like it's been hard, and I remember those pops you'd get even when I was a kid on like the Labor Day rematch day when like out of AJ Gas friggin' demos Wayne McGarity, and then there's a fumble and the double E score. Like, and I remember like the sound and feel of the stadium. So like a part of me just like kind of wants to kind of bring some of that, energy and vibe back. Cause I remember how cool it was for me as a kid. And I would really love that for like a young kid discovering football for the first time.
And you get to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. That's what I hope to do. So, that's a really rambly answer, but I hope that makes sense.
No, it totally does.
Beautiful.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, I find that would be the hardest job, especially right now. We know that the franchise isn't where it should be. We know that there's been a few very difficult years. And to me, the most difficult part is how do you make this fan base excited, right? If we're not necessarily excited with what we're seeing on the field, like how do we get that going? So I'll give props to you, Graham. Like that must be a very difficult job, especially
The BC game was tough. And like, I mean, I had what was my worst game so far. Like I tried some different things in the pregame that didn't work for my flow, and I kind of felt that. So like, it sucks to feel like I'm not doing my best, but like it's still a learning experience, right? So I think in those moments when like things are really not going great, I'm a big believer in that sports are fun and sports can be silly, and so to try to kind of influence like a little bit of that without going overboard is something I want to keep doing, and that's been going well so far. It's a lot easier to kind of throw that in when you're winning against Ottawa and everyone's cooking and everyone's feeling awesome. So yeah, those ones are other moments are a little tougher because you don't want to go too monotone and you don't want to be too sad. But you also, I think it's really important as the voice in the building to reflect and elevate when necessary. Because like ultimately, I think you're a deliverer of information and then a voice of the fan. So I'm never going to be happy when Stanley Berryhill gets a 90-yard touchdown out of nothing. But at the same time, finding moments to like be excited and find some like good spots when things are kind of rough, has been interesting and fun.
No, and I think you've been conveying that very well. You are right. You don't want to be too monotone. You don't want to be too sad, but you still have to deliver the facts. I mean,
yeah. At some point, like, there's no exciting way to say that Trey Ford has been sacked for 12 yards, and now we go back to third down again. So trying to find some moments here and there. It's been really cool to be kind of like learning on the job with my spotter, because he's watched a lot of football. It's great because he also is the DJ for the Golden Bears and Pandas. So his name's Dan Soul. Dan's amazing. I love that man to bits. Like I couldn't do a thing without him. And so we're both learning from each other and learning each other's pacing to get the best info out. And like that kind of stuff takes time too. So we're starting to get there a little bit. And then once we kind of have everything down, once we have the flow down, once all the basics are really set, that's when I think we can really kind of find moments to elevate as necessary, to be silly when we can without being slapstick. But still remembering that sports are fun, and an AI voice could just read off a play, but it's the human part, it's that fan part, it's like the human thing that like makes us ideally all want to come back.
Of course.
Oh, totally. No,
And even on TV, right? It's always the Jack Michaels, the Dustin Nielsen's, and the way that they, do their announcements that you're like, oh, there you go, there it is. It gives
Big
you a
time.
title. It gives you right,
Yeah.
and that's what we also.
Are you
like
kidding me?
So,
Well, this happened in the Ottawa game. Like I didn't realize it happened, but I someone sent me a highlight, and we're like, what was this? And I forget what happened, but I think Drew Bound dropped back. He ran around for a sec, and then did this weird like shot putt that like sort of vaguely looked like a shovel pass, but wasn't. And I did the call. I think what I was like, Drew Brown shovel pass, and I remember being like audibly confused, and then like hearing my game director laugh, and I was like, okay. And then someone sent me a clip, and like you can hear like on the PA announcement that I'm verbally confused about what just happened. And I don't know, people laughed and people got info. So yeah.
I want to say I remember that one. It was you've made a couple of calls now that you can tell like it has a little bit of character behind it, and I think it's one of those jobs as well that you don't think about. Like back in the old EE days, Eskimos, I would like pay very close attention to who was doing that, like whether it was Chris Sheets or somebody else, right? Depends on what role.
This was Al Stafford was the PA voice for a long time.
Okay.
It was Al Stafford for a very long time. Before Al, it was Wes Montgomery.
Okay, so maybe it was Al Stafford.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, because Chris Sheets would have been in-game host, and then yes, you had Al Stafford, who is with the Edmonton Oilers now. So it was great.
Al Rock, man. I love that guy. Stafford Rock.
But also you get used to the in-game voice, like the PA voice, right? You get used to that, and you can tell when it changes. Like I remember when it was 2018 Grey Cup, CFL brings in their own guy. Wasn't a big fan. The guy was also mispronouncing names and stuff, like Markham Michelle or something was like.
Oh yeah, it was Markham Michael. I remember. I was at that game. I remember that one.
Yes.
That but then I remember like a few years before it was. I want to say it was the Grey Cup year for us in Winnipeg. Remember those days? They brought in I think Rod Black to be the PA announcer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting, but like, people have been kind of hard on Rod Black over his career, but like, man, he was great as the PA announcer. He sounded wonderful.
Aces in places, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the greatest guy on color for NBA games and whatnot in Raptors, but
there were some weird calls. There's been some weird calls.
Yeah, not the grandest fan, but we are EE fans. Now you're obviously PA announcer for the EE. What's your favorite part about this job?
Oh man, what a good question. This is the case. So like, I never used to think of this. Like I always would hear people that work for teams that would say an answer that's very similar to this. And I go like, oh, this is just a canned answer because you work for the team. It's genuinely not, man. Fans are so cool. Fans are so unbelievable. And like, I love Edmonton sports fans in general. And I specifically really love Elks fans because there's this almost like trauma bond of what people have been through. Going back to like, oh yeah, I remember when Eric Tillman traded Ricky Ray.
Oh yeah,
Eric Tillman still sucks. So like, there's something about that. I've been really involved in like CFL fan circles for a long time. I love Grey Cup so much because you get every single person from every single team, and it does not matter what jersey you're wearing, like at all. You're just all fans of the CFL, and so like fans are really incredible. I have some of my best people I love most in this world are diehard Stampeders fans. And I won't hold that against them. But there's such a cool community around this league and around the different team members, especially with Elks fans. I've always walked around the tailgate, even when I was doing spotting. I just like to be around and meet people. And it was really cool because like after on the BC game, a bunch of people started to like kind of like we chat for a little bit, and then they'd like, oh, are you? And I'm like, yeah. And we just like chat and have like a really cool, lovely conversation. So like, it's genuinely the fans that's really cool. There's this like weird community of like of the CFL PA announcers. Like everyone like Instagrams back and forth, and we're like, dude, that was a sweet call. Like, how'd you like? What was your thinking on that? Like, Adam from the Toronto Argonauts. That guy's the best. I love him. I love him to bits. His partner, Danielle, she's the coolest too. And I'm really excited for when the Argos come down because I think they're coming down again, and I want to give them both giant hugs. But like when I was in the audition process, I was like, Adam, I can't really talk about this, but like, please help. And he was just unbelievable. And so it's genuinely the people that are so cool. And I think we're all just nerds, man. We're all just big nerds who love this weird, silly, lovely league and this really cool team that we've attached our hearts to.
Well, and I mean, we're nerds as well. You are the second PA announcer to join this show. That very Adam Goss.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
We are in the process of collecting the
PA announcer
stones. Yes, the gems, because we want to.
Oh my goodness.
On our own show. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously though, that's cool to hear that it's like a brotherhood. And I mean, we did have actually a question on here. You knocked it off. Double E fan.
Yeah.
It is kind of a trauma bond at this point.
That's probably the best way that I've ever heard anybody referring to Double E fans. That's
trauma bond.
Yeah, Elks, like it's like you know, it's funny because I've started to have like Eskimos work back into my vocabulary a little bit, and that's been an interesting process as someone who was like, yeah, at the time I was like, yeah, this name needs to take a break for a little bit. So it's so interesting because you'll have like an older side that'll default to the former name, the younger fans very much on like the kind of the new stuff, and then like there's everything else in between. But like there's always this collective like, oh man, well maybe this will be the one. Let's get this one, boys. Let's go. Which is my favorite because honestly, it reminds me of what Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans were like when I lived in Winnipeg, where they were just, yeah, our quarterback's Drew Willie, sick. Let's go. And you know, there's thankfully like a little bit more hope around these parts than when the Bombers had again big deal of signing Drew Willie, who I'm sure is a lovely man.
The Free Willy chants back in the day at Commonwealth.
Dude, I worked at a radio station in Winnipeg. We ran a contest that they wouldn't let us call "Show Us Your Willie," because we wanted to get like, what's the biggest number 5 sign that you can make and put up on your lawn for Drew Willie? And I think we had to call it the Free Willy contest instead. So we had people put up orcas, I think. But yeah, they wouldn't let us call it "Show Us Your Willie."
Yeah, that could
probably for the best.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to be sending.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I will say, I believe, what was it, Drew Willie's touchdown chips or something at Co-op back in the day.
Oh, yeah, because there was the Fantus chips, the Drew Willie chips.
Michael Riley.
Yeah,
drink, everybody drink.
See, we have this thing that every time that Scout brings up Michael Riley in the podcast, everybody has to take a drink.
Yeah,
okay, well, I got my bubbly. How many do we have to do if we bring up Michael Riley's hats?
That's 2 drinks. Let's go.
Horrible.
Although it was funny after he got the Grey Cup, he was really, really heavy onto those hats. So
yeah,
but he loved a good hat. It's the only. I mean, look, he had to fit something inside his Hummer H3. He had to fit something in the Hummer.
Hey,
that is going deep into Double E lore. I hope someone else remembers that weird Hummer. He loved that truck. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Parked down in Oliver and Route 99. I believe.
It's a little stalkerish, but let's move on.
Oh man.
Do you have any game day rituals? Is there anything that you have to do before you get to the stadium and start doing your job?
Well, so yes, and I didn't do them last game, and I felt it.
Grymes,
so what?
This is on you. You didn't do your rituals.
I didn't, and it's 100% on me. So I will, if there's one around, I will either walk or take a Lime scooter because I live pretty close by. I need to go. I have to take some time to walk through the tailgate. Even at least just to go see, like, you probably can say hi to you folks really briefly because now you're gonna be, just a heads up, you're gonna become a part of the ritual path now. But I've known the Turf District buds forever. My buddy Chad and his partner Lisa, like, they have one a little on the corner, so I try to go see them. One of my old coworkers from when I was working in radio here, her and her husband have like a spot. I try to just like see some friends when I go through there, and I like to do that about 2 hours or so before the game, if not earlier. So like right at the early part of the tailgate. After that, I'll usually go in, put down my computer, grab some rosters if I haven't already, meet my spotter Dan, and then Dan and I will go have the media meal in the Jackie Parker room. And shout out to the people that make the media meal. It's always so good. It's lovely.
I've heard they take good care of you.
Genuinely so good. Like, it's usually like roast beef, some sort of like pasta thing, whether it's like a like an unmixed lasagna or like a stroganoff or like a mac and cheese. And then I swear, like the best barbecue pit beans I've had. They're so good.
Nice.
And then like potato salad and stuff. So like I'll have like a tiny little plate because if I eat too much, I get heartburn and then I feel grumblies in my tummy, and I don't like that. And then I go back into our little room, and the room we work out of is tiny. So we have our game director. Her name's Crystal. She's unbelievable. Love working with her so much. It's her. Oddly enough, she would now that she's the game director. Many years before, she previously worked for the team doing game tape. So there was in the same room, I guess, the first time she worked around here, a wall of VHS tapes that she would have to plug in. This tape is special teams. This one's offense. This one's defense.
Oh, wow.
And then trade them around and then give them to the coaches after the game. And so now for her, many years later, being back game directing is this like kind of fun serendipitous moment. So I'll go check in with Crystal, and then I'll start sitting down with my rosters. And on my my fiance Kristen is amazing and a wizard with spreadsheets in a way that I am not. So I basically told her, I was like, I need a way to like track players and call things and have the info I need. Can we build something like that in Excel? And she went, oh honey, yes we can. And so we have the spreadsheet that we built. Well, I was like, here's what I like, and then she did it because she's amazing. And I basically go on before every game and I manually plug in the visiting rosters and home rosters, including things like name pronunciations, key stats if there's like a big milestone stat moment coming up. Because I usually like to check the rosters and check where stats are like a few games ahead. Like in a few games, I mean, geez, he's played so well, he might make it sooner. Like when Stephen Dunbar Jr. is getting close to 1,000, like that's when I'm going to start like in a few games, like kind of keeping track on that. Where's Justin Rankin at? That kind of stuff. So I'll kind of manually put all those in. And then usually by that time, I have like another half an hour before the show starts. And I'll just like throw on my headphones and either like listen to podcasts, throw on because I record all the games for the teams we're playing the next week, and then just kind of watch them just to like start to train my brain to see which numbers are who and kind of put them away. So I don't have to put them in my spreadsheet every time. I can just know that like number 3 will be Micah Awe, and he's going to make our life miserable.
Yeah.
Or Gary Peters again.
That's cool. That's actually really interesting to know, though. And I mean, on the tapes, we did have somebody else on the show that told us about the old way of doing video.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
I forget who it was off the top, but
I do remember that.
It's cool to hear that once again. It goes to show, how obviously the technology changes, but also how these roles at the same time don't really change too much.
Yeah,
you're not reinventing the wheel, so to speak.
Not really, and it's funny because I've become pretty good buds with one of the video coaches. His name is Adam, and he's also the GM of the Edmonton Royals Junior B hockey team. Okay. And so like I've filled in as their PA announcer a handful of times over the years, and like see him with the Elks now. And so like the way he does film and record stuff is so like the game is the easiest part because he just has to set up a camera. Once everything's over, he's popping in an edit bay and just like cutting up, here's all the stuff for one player. And like I know AI is not great and we're really grumpy about a lot of things, but like it's especially when you're trying to get that much data and that very specific data, it can be really, really helpful. So
for CFL.ca.
Yeah. Graham for CFL.ca. Now, I do kind of want to circle back on this. You were talking about tailgate earlier. I would like to know, Graham, what are your thoughts on the tailgate party?
It's the best. It's the best thing the team's done in so long. Like I wish that was there when I was in that kind of level. Because like before you'd have people like kind of hanging out. It was sort of a thing. Wasn't really well set. Like you go down to McMahon and that was a tailgate. Like that's where you went for a good tailgate. And so to see how it's developed and grown over the years, moving it closer to Clark Park and closer to like an ingress for the stadium, I think is really good. And it's the one thing that really kind of bums me out about it is just like the nature of how that area is set up. I don't think there's enough eyes on it for the people that are coming to like one, maybe 2 or 3 games a year.
Right.
Like I almost wish we had a way of like of moving finding a way to get the train people to go around and check it out, because that'd be such a great way to kind of like keep people coming back, because like the tailgate's honestly one of my favorite parts of the game. Like you guys, you folks know it, the vibe there is so good no matter what the record is, and you get like fans from out of town coming. I feel like those are like the CFL kind of family folks, like the people that want to go to every Grey Cup. Like that's where their space is. And so talking to friends from Calgary, they're being like, "Oh, y'all are putting up something really cool here," when they've had such a. Yeah, I'm so jealous of their tailgate setup, because you literally have to walk through it when you get off the train to go to McMahon, even though the rest of the stadium makes you hate human existence.
Yeah, dumb.
It's just the team itself, but
them too. Sinjin Sperling here in the herd chat. What up, Sinjin? The tailgate does seem kind of tucked away, so he does agree with you on that point.
And we've talked about it before, and we've said, like, how about some signage? You know, something that says, "Hey, tailgate this way."
It's getting better. It's getting. I think it's getting better. But like, you ultimately are dealing with a space that is. It's at the opposite part of ingress for a huge portion of folks, and so it's. I really like what they've done with the beer garden. I think that could be a big expansion point of being like, hey, if you want to start over here, have a beer, make your way around the building, come check out over here. Make gate 2 your big kind of entry spot. Because that's also where like the kids, the kind of kids play zone is, and that's been such a great addition especially for parents who are dealing with like kids who don't want to sit down and watch a 3-hour football game. Being able to go burn off energy at the kids park is killer. So there's so many good things, especially around the game day experience, I think has been missing for a long time, that are being brought in. And I'm not just saying that like as someone who is like biased, obviously, but there's definitely spaces to bring in more people, and I think it's a real strength that I think will be utilized a lot going forward.
Oh, totally.
Oh, they've done great. I also think that beer gardens right beside the tailgate was one of the smartest things that they could have done, especially bringing in the younger crowd, right?
Yeah.
Not teenagers, but you know what I mean.
Totally. Yeah.
Not quite, but yeah, no, they're doing a lot of really, really good things. We do have a couple of comments over here.
John Hayden here in the herd chat. And once again, before we read these, quick reminder, if you do have any questions for Graham, we are running a little bit over on this on time for this. So please do throw them in now and we will get them.
Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. I'm a talker. I feel like I should have warned you all. I'm loud.
No, you're good. No. We don't want to eat up too much of your time. That's how this works. But John Hayden here in the herd chat. Many go into the stadium from the LRT and don't bother going to the other side. And then he also does say having it right off the LRT would be ideal in that parking lot. They were towing everyone out 2 hours before the game. The problem is that obviously Lot B, City of Edmonton property, tied in with the rec center. That's why we see the 3 hour before people are using it for the parking lot purposes intended. Now, over in Lot A, it was a little bit more of a free-for-all. Graham, you remember those days. Lot A, people would show up at noon for a 5 o'clock game or whatever. People would be in there a lot earlier. Obviously, that's kind of like the caveat with this is because it's City of Edmonton property over at Lot B and it's dedicated parking for the recreation center. We are kind of faced with that 3 hour window before the game.
Yeah.
If there was a way that you could like swing it, I think honestly the dream scenario would be, if you really wanted to supercharge it, is that you kind of take where the bus area is, but then you have to figure out, okay, where do those buses go? You have to retrain people to go to a different space for Stadium Road. It's too bad like you couldn't just like park them on the street, but like for literal safety, you can't do that. Like
Well, and
one of my
Stadium Road is closed after with police there and whatnot, right? They closed off Stadium Road completely before and after the game.
yeah, well, and there's but you can get. So I'm one of my other jobs. I'm a 911 dispatcher. I answer 911 calls for AHS, although we're not AHS anymore, but that's a whole other thing. And that road is still accessible for emergencies. So you'd have to figure out something. But like honestly, if you could find a way to make it happen to the bus where the bus ingress egress is, like that'd be perfect. That'd be the
You
dream.
need one of those people that are just there with a sign, the ones that are outside of businesses with the big inflatable signs. And it's like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The ones that you like low key think about bullying if you were a garbage person. Yeah.
okay, then maybe not. But yes, exactly those.
Oh, so good. So good.
I mean, it just like St. John says over here. I like the spot due to having the indoor field available for the kiddos right next to it, but there really is not a lot of natural traffic through the area.
Yeah, it's a tough back and forth for sure, but like the fact that you have it, it's an asset that I think they'll keep using. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see. There's a lot of like new ideas that's been like kind of flowing through the team, and I'm still a baby. Like I've only been there for 4 years compared to some folks who've been there for 40 and plus. But like there's a lot of creative thinkers, and yeah, winning also solves a lot, man. Winning solves a lot of problems.
We have Nathan Byer over here in the chat. Oh man, I wanted to be the sign guy until he said that.
I'm not being serious, guys. This is just jokes. I just think of Badger from Breaking Bad and the one job he had as a sign guy. And
Oh, so
very
good.
true.
Shout
Very
out Nathan,
true.
by the way, just got engaged. So shout out Nathan for
hey, congrats!
Wait, little applause.
If everybody can hear it. If not,
Oh
we're
yeah,
just
no, we're
clapping
good.
to
Yeah.
nothing.
We were watching RuPaul's last night, obviously.
But yes, what else is on the go for Graham in the near future? What's going on?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm like this summer. It's a lot of football, which is wonderful. I'm also a big lacrosse fan, and so I've been really lucky enough to be the Edmonton Miners PA announcer for the last couple of years, and they're in the playoffs right now. So the Junior A Miners, and if you're a big lacrosse nerd, very much think of the Junior A level as the level people play in before they would have played for the Edmonton Rush back in the day. Like this is the highest level of junior lacrosse you can get, and it is so much fun and it's so good. And they got a couple games this weekend that I'm really, really excited for. We're playing the Calgary Mountaineers or the Mounties, and Calgary fans are real spicy and real weird sometimes. So we're kind of working with that. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you missed lacrosse in Edmonton, come check out the Edmonton Miners, because both the junior teams who have players that are going to be in the NLL and the senior B team who has a bunch of players who are currently in the NLL or just are all playing around now. And yeah, man, I miss lacrosse. I miss pro level lacrosse in Edmonton so much. I was a Roughneck season ticket holder when I lived in Calgary, and almost when I lived up here, I almost applied to be their PA announcer when I was living here. And like part of me kind of regrets not doing it, but man, that would have been so much time on the road. That would have been awful. So yeah, that's my other kind of like big sports thing, which I can't recommend enough. The Miners are great and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's me. That's my life. I got 2 dogs. We go outside a lot. That's
dogs. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah, me and my fiance are just like in the midst of planning our wedding, and that's so much.
Soon to be your wife and your 2 dogs. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, next year, once we get through next year. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So I wish I had this big litany of like, I do all these strings anymore. Like now that I'm not in FM radio anymore, it's like this collection of like weird freelance gigs that keep me sustainable and existing.
But it builds character, Graham, okay? It builds character. We do got to ask one major question that we did want to ask before we let you go. What other sports teams do you cheer for and what leagues?
So I'm an Oilers fan, somewhat begrudgingly at times, which can be fun. Man, in terms of other sports that I really pay attention to, I love college football. Oh my god, do I love college football.
It's exciting.
It's so fun, it's so chaotic, and it's so silly and dumb. Like, it's the perfect epiphany of that, like, sports are fun, and with that, they can be very stupid. So I'm a huge fan of college football. I think I might actually pick a team to cheer for rather than just, like, watching individual games. I might actually pick a team this year, so we'll see.
Are you gonna get the game? Or are you gonna get 26?
Oh, dude, I've been playing 26 since it came out. It's great. It's
do you got the Elks mods? Do you got the?
I did download. I create a team as the Elks, and it's my second dynasty, and it's very fun. Did I also renumber all the players to be our position players? That'd be a crazy person thing to do. Who would spend that kind of time?
There you go.
And then do you make the calls as you make the plays or what?
No, I would have to sleep outside. Like Kristen already hears it and the dog already hears it because like we live really close to the stadium, and like if she doesn't come to the game, I'll usually get a text being like, every time you make an announcement, the dogs stare out the window and look confused.
Oh, where's dad? Is he coming home?
That's so good. Let's take a look at our herd chat comments here real quick. Ryan Nervous does say, "What up, Ryan?" who has helped us get a clear stream today. We've been to other stadiums before, and the fact that they do a true tailgate is awesome. It's a great atmosphere, and I agree with Sinjin. Proximity to the kids zone is fantastic.
It is pretty great. So yeah, we just like, I don't know, from like a PA standpoint, like I really want to bring in as much like high energy as we can. I love being able to kind of like lose it a little bit on a touchdown and then get glares from our audio guys for being like, you're being too loud. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Ian. I'm doing my best. Okay. I just get excited.
It's for the double E, right?
There
For the
you
double
go.
E. Sinjin does love the tailgate, and he hopes that it continues to grow and thrive. He also does say here his family has been converted to Sooner fans.
Boomer Sooner. I get that. That's really fun. Like, I don't know if I can cheer for a team that's like totally red though. That feels weird.
Yeah.
But like that's cool. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards like the Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, because like you got Chuba Hubbard, you got orange and black, which is a great color scheme, and then they play clips from No Country for Old Men before every game because they're weirdos, and I think that's lovely.
Oh, man, every time I think about the radio meme where it's like an old man calling and he's like, "Can I get some country?" and the DJ host says no, and it's No Country for Old Men. Absolutely ridiculous.
Goofy.
I've been looking.
Goofy.
I've been looking for this meme for so long. I still can't find it. Ian Sherrick here in the herd chat. What
Ian! Oh man, I love that guy.
Beautiful. So you got a fan here. This is amazing. Hey Graham, really happy for you. Who's your favorite double E player?
Oh my god. Current or all time? I'm gonna go
both. Do both.
I'm gonna start with current. I have had a couple really wonderful chats with Joel LeBlanco. He is such a kind and funny and like interesting dude who's also this like voracious football Machiavelli. Listening to him, he is so smart and so in depth in this way that like I think a lot of people wouldn't see when you talk to this like just very like kind of tall blonde football guy. Joel LeBlanc is really great. I really love chatting with him. Cody Fajardo has also been really cool to kind of to chat with a bunch. Like in the offhands, like on a few events I've done that he's been around at. He's been really cool. So probably those guys, and then yeah, like Trey and Tyrell are both just lovely human beings and just so much fun to watch. All time, man, it was a formative moment to see AJ Gass pull off Dan Comiskey's helmet and whip it like 45 yards downfield when I was a young football fan. And that's stuck in my head as being like so cool. Plus, like he wore number 77, which always felt really kind of weird for a linebacker.
Yeah.
So like he was really cool. Like he's up there. there was one receiver for a few years. I think his name was Kelly Campbell, and he wore number 71. And I always thought that was kind of strange. But I always was a big fan of returners. So like Gizmo, obviously incredible. But like the times I remember Winston October when he would catch the ball at flight and not drop it, which he would do, which is what happens when you try to get the ball at full speed. When Winston October would get the ball at like full speed, and you just see like number 8 like bolting through the snow was just so cool. So yeah, I hope that's like a paint shot of like where my kind of era of Double E fandom really kind of came from.
Oh, that's so cool. No, and I mean, I wish we would have been fans at that point. There's so much good football, especially with this team, such a rich history. You are part of this rich history now, Graham. It's fantastic. Love it. Couldn't be more thankful for your time tonight. We will let you go here right away. Jason in Red Deer does say, hey, Graham, nice to see you. Also forgot that we had a show tonight. We were forced to do. We were all forced to. Gunpoint by me. Man, this has been a fantastic chat. We will have to have you on again, Graham. Where can we find you online?
I'm at Graham Mosimann under everything. All my stuff, Graham Mosimann. I don't tweet a ton because, political
strife. Okay, that's our next.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. But yeah, like Instagram, like I've like the bitter middle millennial I am trying to TikTok more often. Just to feed the algorithm a little bit, but also like weirdly enough, like I posted a video on TikTok of like of our win announcement for the game against Ottawa, and this was so wonderful. I had this huge influx of people that popped up that were from when I used to live in Calgary. And I lived in Calgary for 6 years doing a show on X92.9, and I had all these people show up out of nowhere being like, "Holy boats! I remember you on X. That's cool that this is what you're doing." And that was like we just started chatting. It was like, "Oh man, it's nice." So. Yeah, I just love people, man. People and fans are amazing. So yeah, Graham Mosimann on all of the things.
Oh, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for what you do. We're thankful for the fact that you're such a big Edmonton sports fan, even just a Canadian sports fan in general, even North American sports. But you do something for the Double E. Like we said, right? You're part of this rich history now, and we think you've done a fantastic job. We love hearing your calls, man. You bring a different element, you bring a different style, a different color to it. And I mean, it's maybe just a different shade of green. It's all green and gold, and you're part of the gold in this fabric here in Edmonton.
I mean, that means a lot, buds. Thank you so much. It's really cool to actually be on the show.
Thank you, man, especially through the rescheduling and everything. Just a little bit of a gong show. Apparently, we just had to change our camera setting to 720p, and we figured it out. But Graham, we're not going to keep you any longer, man. Said it 5 times already. Can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. It was fantastic chatting with you, and we're going to have to see you again soon, my man.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next tailgate, eh?
Yeah.
Great.
See you again soon.
Take care, pal.
Have an awesome one.
Bye.
And that was Graham Mosimann. What a guy. What a chat. That was fantastic. Absolutely loved shooting the breeze with him. It's another one of those cases where you could talk all night.
Totally. No,
So
it's such a cool job. Such a hard job, really.
It's been a hard job lately. I mean, I'll tell you
goodness.
that. But without further ado, please welcome to the show DB coach and community ambassador for the Double E and 2015 Grey Cup champion, number 36. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Aaron Grymes. Thanks for joining us tonight, Aaron.
Do you get introduced like that everywhere you go?
No, that was special right there. I like that.
I feel like everybody should introduce you like that.
I felt like a wrestler, like I was coming out. That was my intro right there.
Dang, yeah, that would. We should have had some better graphics or something to go with that. Aaron, thanks a lot for your time tonight. Did you happen to watch the Grey Cup on Sunday?
Of course, I watched the Grey Cup on Sunday. I wouldn't miss it.
you don't get those like salty vibes where your team's out and you're refusing to watch.
No, no salty vibe for me. A lot of respect for the people in the game, but also I like to envision us in the game. And I'm watching two teams that we went 1-1 on the season within our series. So it just gives me a little belief, a little motivation going into next year.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, we're going to talk a little bit about that because, there are definitely some steps made this year for the Double E, and
Yes.
you're a big part of that. So, obviously, we wish the Double E was in there much like 10 years ago, but for today, we're thankful for your time. Viewers, if you're watching live, please be sure to throw your comments and questions into the herd chat, and we will do our best to get them onto the show. But question number one here, Aaron, going to start getting into the heavy hitters here. We like to get to know our guest off the hop. You were born and raised in Washington, down south, growing up as a West Coast kid in Seattle. So what started your path as a young athlete?
In Seattle, obviously we had at the time, all the major sports in terms of what we were looking at. So we had the Mariners, we had Seahawks, and we had the Sonics still at the time. We didn't have the Kraken just yet, but so for me, sports has always been a big thing. And, my dad, our family sport actually growing up was baseball. So I started playing baseball when I was 6. And the biggest thing, for my parents was just that bored kids, they get in trouble, especially in the inner city, right back home. So we were going to stay busy, we were going to be active, and we played sports year round. And it was always a different sport. So football had a season, basketball had a season, baseball had a season. You had a little bit of time during the summer to just, ride your bikes, or honestly, we were still playing sports. I come from a big family, so me and my cousins, we'd be at grandma's house playing sports during the summertime. So for me, that competitive edge, it started extremely early. And obviously, I don't plan on it leaving me anytime soon.
Which one was your favorite growing up?
I thought I was going to be like the next Ken Griffey Jr. or Ichiro Suzuki growing up. And then I got to high school, and a lot of my friends stopped playing baseball, and it got a little bit slow for me as well. So on the freshman team in high school, after my freshman year, I stopped playing, and my dad was a little bit devastated, because that was his sport. But he was like, well, what else are you going to do? Because you're not just going to stop and sit around the house and get yourself in trouble, essentially. So I started running track. My football coach convinced me to run track, work on my speed for football. And I think it was a good decision, now looking back on it.
Gotta ask, what was your track sports?
I was a sprinter. So I did the 100 to 200 to 4x1. And then my senior year, I did the long jump as well. But I hate running, but I can run in short distances. So, even now, as a retired athlete, like things like striders and anything where I can go, I'd rather go, hard for 100 meters or 40 yards, and then let me get a break before I have to go again.
Oh, I feel that. I absolutely hate running with a passion, even in short runs. So that's just a passion right there. Hate. But so you said that you went to high school in West Seattle, and then you played for the Idaho Vandals. 246 total tackles, 3 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 16 passes defended in 49 games. What were your favorite moments as an Idaho Vandal?
Oh my! You make me feel old now. I gotta get back into the memory box there. Well, the number one thing that sticks out to me is my freshman year we won a bowl game. So that was kind of cool coming into it that way. And then really the friendships I made there, to be able to move away from my home city, meet people from all over the place. Shout out to Coach Akey. Coach Rob Akey, he's the one who brought me into Idaho. And, I was able to meet, I still have group chats, with a lot of my teammates. And I stopped playing at Idaho in 2012, right? But, those connections, those brotherhoods are lifelong. Obviously, I met my wife there, things like that. So for me, it was the biggest thing was just getting a chance to compete. That's what I've always wanted. And I know I've talked to you guys about that before, but for anybody else, just, being born and raised in Seattle, Washington, I actually had a scholarship offer to the University of Washington, who was in the Pac-10 at that time. And Coach Tyrone Willingham got fired. New coach came in, and they just didn't want to give me the same opportunity. They said they'd honor my scholarship, because I was a local guy. I had already committed, so they were going to do their part on that end, and I respect that. But the opportunity on the field wasn't going to be the same. And so I decommitted, and my mom and my dad gave me some good advice at the time. And they were like, well, you want to play post, you want to be a professional at some point, and you got to get somewhere where you can play. Because if you're not gonna play at Washington, then nobody's gonna see you. If you go to Idaho, you can play right away, or they're gonna at least let you compete to play right away. And if you're good enough, then teams will find you. So that's kind of how I ended up making one of the best decisions of my life.
That's amazing. And, it's kind of interesting. We kind of see that as well in the NFL to the CFL and opportunities, right? And opportunity to play. And it's cool that your parents guided you in the direction that they did, because obviously, you had a great tenure with the Double E on and off after college. Now, you did sign with the Double E almost right after college. Weren't NFL drafted or anything like that, but once again, you did have a lengthy career, especially up here in Canada. So how did that come about? How did that path to the CFL happen?
You guys are kind of writing this story. This is a great transition. So another thing that happened when I went to Idaho was, the first couple of years, my DB coach was Coach Livey, who I still speak with as well. So shout out to Coach Livey. But then my last couple of years, Torrey Hunter was my defensive back coach. He came over from Eastern Washington University. And for those who know, Torrey Hunter is an Eskimo alumni. And so he asked me, coming out of college, there were some NFL teams just kind of poking around, showing some interest in me, but didn't quite have the stats or the film to make that jump right away. And he knew that. And so he asked me, if I would want to go play football in the Canadian Football League. And I didn't know anything about the CFL at the time, but I knew that they were going to offer me a contract. Like I was going to get to play football and get paid to play football. And that's, again, it goes back to leaving Washington to come to Idaho. I just wanted an opportunity to show that I was good enough to do it. And without decommitting from Washington to go to Idaho, and then Coach Hunt being there my last 2 years, he played with Ed Hervey back in the early 2000s, right? So that's how I got my foot in the door. I think I signed with Edmonton like early May, like a week before training camp started. And I came in and I was like a four-string DB, American DB who didn't know anything about a waggle or anything. But I was surrounded by some good veterans. Obviously, I had a hell of a GM that I still have a lot of respect for, and I got a chance to make a career out of it. So it was a blessing.
That's great. That's cool. That's cool to hear. And it's those opportunities that you just gotta, who passes on a scholarship for the chance to play professional football? And not a lot of people would, right? So it was taking a leap of faith, and thankfully you had your parents backing you up, and it turned out to be a fantastic decision. And that led, as Scout said, to a lengthy career and some really memorable moments, mostly the 2015 magical year for the Double E, with the Eskimos bringing a championship back to the city of Edmonton. So what was it like being part of a group that went from 3 or 4 wins to the playoffs the following year, and then the Grey Cup the year after?
It was huge. It really showed me that, in this league specifically, both with how contracts are structured and just how small rosters are, the margin, for error or victory is pretty small, right? You just mentioned, I think we won 4 games my rookie year, and we were 12-6 and playing in the West Final my second year. Obviously there was a new coach in town, but the biggest thing also now being on the coaching side of things is the organization that you're with, and the people who are running the organization and the decisions that are being made. Those all play a huge factor. There's a trickle-down effect, 100%. And I do believe Ed Hervey being in and bringing the right guys in and hiring a staff that can get the job done played a huge role in that, because for the most part, the guys were in the locker room. Like when I got here, my rookie year, Odell was here, Mike Riley was here, J.C. Sherritt was here, Mondo was here, Darius Bowman was here. You know what I mean? I was a rookie, and in that second year, there was a couple of additions from the personnel department, but the core, like the people you really remember from that Grey Cup game, I would say probably 90% of them were here. We're already in town, and so just a couple of tweaks, people making the right decisions, really helped us take that leap. You know what I mean? And to becoming the Grey Cup champions, and so. I get a little bit excited when I talk about it because I'm talking about a lot of the same names and faces you still see around the building right now.
And it's so special, right? We know what Ed Hervey and Chris Morris is doing here, what Larry Thompson has laid out for his foundation. I mean, obviously, Deb is going to see through that vision, but it's great to see you guys all stick together. And I mean, we did have Matt O'Donnell on recently. We talked about it, and we had Odell earlier on in the season. And it's cool to see you guys stick around Edmonton. We do have a question about that later on, so I don't want to dig into it too much. As far as the 2015 Grey Cup goes, what was your favorite game besides the Grey Cup?
Wow. My very last game I played in, like everybody knows, I dealt with a lot of injuries the last couple of years. I actually spent every game on the IR my last 2 seasons, but my last game being healthy was in BC, and I got an interception, and it happened to be on my oldest daughter's birthday. So we played on November 19th in BC. My last game I ever played in, I had an interception, and I gave my daughter the game. She was in the crowd. And I was able to give her that interception ball for her birthday. She slept with it that night. It's still in her room to this day. That was 2021. Mm-hmm. So that 4 years ago now, and she still has that ball. So that's the number. That's a memory that sticks out to me and will stick with me for the rest of my life.
That's so beautiful.
Oh,
I love
so
it.
cute.
I love it. Oh, that's so awesome. And I mean, your daughter's sweet. We've been fortunate enough to meet her in the tailgate. So, yeah, you guys are a great family. Now, getting back to our timeline here, 2016, the NFL did come calling, and you signed with the Philadelphia Eagles in the CFL offseason. You did see some game action. I mean, unfortunately for Philly, you saw a release and return to Edmonton, their loss, our gain. But, man, how cool was it to make the majors?
It was a dream come true. It really was. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've been really lucky, I guess, fortunate, whatever word you want to use. Because when I went to Philly, I also was surrounded by very good veterans, a really good coach. Actually, my DB coach, who was there that year, both of them are in Houston right now, so they're coaching the game that's being played at this moment. But Coach Corey Unlin took a chance on me and really took the time to help me learn the game and make sure that I had the best chance to make the team. And it's probably a big reason that I stayed there for at least 1 season. And I can still reach out to him to this day when he's not busy and there's not a Thursday night game going on. But I've communicated with him since coaching. To ask questions, just advice, things like that. And he still reaches out to me, so, and that doesn't always happen, like, especially for guys like that who see thousands of athletes a year, and somebody who wasn't there for quite long enough to really build a relationship like that. He still takes those phone calls and those text messages. And I had some very good veterans, Malcolm Jenkins, Rodney McLeod, guys like that who, they were so comfortable and confident in their skill set that they didn't mind sharing their notes or their thoughts and things like that with me, because to them, they want everybody in that room to operate at a high level, and that's really probably why they won the Super Bowl the next year, right? Is because of that chemistry they had in that room and that confidence they had, and so it was a dream come true for me. Another crazy memory, I'm a huge family guy, you guys know that, is my wife and my daughter's first NFL game they ever went to, I played in Philadelphia at the link. So that was cool.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
I remember I was over at Clint's and I watched that game. Yeah, because it was the first game that you'd elevated to the ring. I was like, man, we gotta watch Air Grymes. We gotta see what this guy does. So, yeah, Sammy, remember that one. Obviously, you have such a fantastic memory about it, right? And it was just really special, man. Really special to see, one of the Double E make it to the NFL. And I mean, Double E are usually pretty good at producing athletes like that, but you have to be the athlete to do that. So always proud of that one. Always proud to see you do that, man.
Yeah. And the connections, the knowledge, that's all invaluable, right? And it's still helping you to this day. But back to the questions. Despite stints in 2 other CFL teams, you played the rest of your on-turf career with the Double E. Why Edmonton?
For me, it was the place that took a chance on me. In this business, pro sports in general, you hear a lot of bad stories. And so when you do find a place and you do find people who show you loyalty and they show you love and they show you respect, you got to honor that kind of stuff. And Edmonton has always been that for me. This is a city that really took my family in, even from a rookie. I've shared stories of like losing my wife's phone, and a few days later, that family calling me and apologizing that they didn't find it sooner, like it was their fault. Just things like that. If that was back home, that phone would have been, the SIM card would have been taken out. It would have been on, some sort of website for sale within 30 minutes. You just don't find that kind of stuff everywhere like you do here. It's a town that truly cares about its sports teams, and our organization has caught a lot of flack the last few years. And to be honest, rightfully so. The people here, they want to see their team succeed. They want to support their teams. And the teams just got to give them something to get behind. And I like that. I really do. Somebody said I played in a couple other spots, and not everywhere is like that. And when I got here, it was being run the right way, and it's being run the right way currently as well. Just that Eskimo way, right? That family, that brotherhood. You see the opportunity that a lot of these ex-players and these alumni around town are doing. I get to do events with Trent Brown and Gizmo Williams. I get to coach camps with Jed Roberts. Like Ed Hervey is my boss. Chris Morris is his boss. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is extremely cool to me. And you just can't pass up on opportunities like that. So Edmonton is a place that I live now year round, and I own a house.
Oh, so good. Let's talk about that a little bit, because we know you're a big Edmonton guy. We did talk to you in an interview a couple of years ago about that. You're here year round. You live here full time now. You are an Edmontonian. So you did try out with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers near the end of your playing career, which was a very valiant effort coming back from that injury. After being released from the practice roster, you did sign a 1-day with the Edmonton Elks to retire as a member of the Double E. Immediately after that, you were signed on as a DB coach and community ambassador for the Double E. So, was coaching something you had considered previously?
Yeah, absolutely. Coaching, actually scouting was something that I was really interested in as well. Just because, I think about like family time, and now that I know more about both sides of it, they both have their ups and downs, right? They both have time with the family and time, away from the family. But I knew that sticking around the sport was something that I wanted to do, more importantly. And then, meeting guys like Torrey Hunter, ex-player, right? And then meeting Ed Hervey, and then being able to sit down in his office and have 1-2 hour long conversations, throughout the seasons, and just learning the game and where he came from and how he got his start, and and just taking all that information from those guys and trying to make it my own. And so that's kind of how I am where I am now.
And you've done amazing, right? Even in this role with the Double E, the play has been getting better. And you have the experience. So we also know that you've done multiple drills in the past, mini camps, things like that, right? So It's really cool. It's really special, obviously, to still see you out there in a capacity with the Double E, but not just ambassador. You're also coaching the team on the turf. We do see some questions in the herd chat. We will get to those. Let's get to them now. Let's break this up a little bit, and then we have some fun questions, Aaron. It's not all business.
I like it.
We do have a comment from Ryan Nervous. Jace says hi. Also to Scout and Catherine, but we don't matter right now.
Aaron Grymes is a guest, so
that's from Jace. I know the family is celebrating hard.
Yes, the Nervous family, loving that Riders Grey Cup win.
We also have a question from Pierre.
All right, Pierre. First year completed as a coach after being a player. Was there anything about coaching that you didn't appreciate as a player?
Oh yeah, if I'm understanding the question correctly, one thing, like as a player, I really thought that I put a lot of time in, and based on the CFL rules, you could argue I did put quite a bit of time in. But these coaches, like we live at the stadium for 7 months out of the year minimum. Early in the year, like there's nights or days, like I'll leave the house before my youngest daughter is awake, and I'll get home and my youngest daughter is sleeping. And that's something that I wasn't oblivious to as a player, but I just didn't think about it that much, and so certainly as a coach now, like I have a huge appreciation for the hours and the time that's put in, to what's going on. Certainly for this staff. I haven't been on very many staffs. I don't know how everybody operates, but Edmonton right now has a staff that will do what it takes, to turn things around on the field. And I'm living it. I'm watching it, and I really appreciate the opportunity to see this side of it, because it's nice to start out on a staff like this, because now I don't know any other way. All we know now is the hours have to be put in for the results to happen on the field, and it's kind of cool to see.
Definitely. That reminds me of, when you become a parent for the first time, and then you have to write your mom and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a great point. It's just like that.
Sorry for all the times that I took you for granted.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I get that one too, actually.
Yeah.
Follow-up question by Pierre. The WE secondary took a major step forward or an improvement around game 7-ish this year. So what was the biggest difference from your perspective?
I think it was just learning from both sides. Me learning as a coach, us learning as a defensive staff, and the players, learning as well. When you're overhauling a culture and a foundation, not everything is going to hit right away. And I fell victim to the hype in the offseason as well. With all the new changes, so many great faces, the right people in the right spots, and thinking like, okay, we're coming out and guns a-blazing. And that certainly was the plan. You know what I mean? But realistically, that's when you're building something that's meant to last, it doesn't happen like that. And so I certainly had to learn how to be more effective communicating to the players. The players had to learn what I was asking of them as a coach, as opposed to as their teammate. And the biggest thing is I feel like we started to create an environment where we cared about each other. We loved coaching and playing with each other. We loved playing the brand of football that the coaching staff was trying to put back on the field, and we all bought into that. And you can, selfishly or biasedly, I should say, you can kind of see that, when you watch the games. It was people flying around trying to make plays.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that cohesion came to you guys in that second half, right? And I know that we had talked about that about the year previous in 2024. We saw a lot of the same things, but it's the continuity now under the same coaching regime. This is a set roster of coaches here. There's a set plan moving forward, and there's no more uncertainty, right? So it's great to see the foundation that you guys built on the turf. It's great to also see Tyrell Ford returning, some of the weapons that you get to coach as well on your side of the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys like T Ford, I just seen, KJ also added another year to his contract. That also makes you feel good too, because now you feel like, the environment is what I remember it being. Like, people don't want to leave Edmonton. Once they come here, they realize, okay, this is a spot where we could really flourish, and we can play. And you look at a guy like T Ford, like if you were to look statistically, interception wise specifically, like, his interceptions were down year over year compared to where he was at the previous year, but he was playing damn good ball, and he was tackling well, and he was getting better, and he really bought into what we were asking him to do as well. And you just want to keep creating the environment where people like that want to come here and play. And you want, even players who may leave, you want the word to be, yeah, I like Edmonton. Like, obviously I'm not there anymore, and I'm happy where I'm at, but my time there, I got nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, not like in the Grey Cup where we see these repeated shots at Dave Dickinson. Luckily, we haven't seen anything like that since Kenny Lawler a couple of years ago, and we're well past that point of 2022 double E.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great to see there's real improvement with what's happening there, and the fact that guys are buying in, like you just said, you could tell that there was a buy-in factor there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Go ahead, my bad.
Sorry. Yeah, but I think that one of the biggest factors that I have seen in terms of improvement of the team is that it's no longer a revolving door, which we have seen in the past few years.
Or individuals playing for their jobs.
100%. Right? You're seeing that cohesion, you're seeing that chemistry, and it's really exciting to watch. I think I've mentioned it before that if we manage to start the season in the same spot that we finished, it's just going to be an amazing season, because we still get to grow, and it's going to be great. So it's exciting. I'm excited.
You and me both. You and everybody else in that building. And like you said, that cohesion, right? It's when I talked about the environment of truly caring about the person you play next to, because you have to be able to communicate, and you got to understand what page somebody else is on. And when there's such a revolving door, one, you don't know who you're playing next to, and two, you're worried you might be the next one replaced. So now it's like, well, I just need to do whatever I can do for myself to make sure I don't get in. It's I, me, versus how do we put the best 12 people on the field at a time to give this organization the best chance to succeed and play our brand, the double E brand of football, that Edmonton way. And you're starting to see that kind of stuff. And I think that, the players are feeling respected by the staff, because we certainly do. Like I told the defensive back room, Coach Nez and both of I truly care about you guys, and I got your guys' back. I just need you guys to have my back, when it's time to have my back as well. And it's a two-way street. It's not a dictatorship in this room. And I think it took a little bit of time for them to realize, like, okay, I'm sure every coach says that. But who really means it? Who's gonna back those words up with action? And then when you start to see it, you start to kind of see that cohesion. And I talked to you guys about my old coaches and reaching out to them, and how I've just been very fortunate to be around some of the good ones. I was speaking with my old college head coach. He's at Oregon State now, Coach Akey. So thank you for this, Coach Akey. He said, you take care of the players, and the rest takes care of itself. And I feel like we truly did that and try to do that this year, and we're going to continue to be even better at it next year.
Well, and you can also tell when you go to the team store and staff members are buzzing and players are buzzing and Dwayne Mandrusiak swings in, and it's becoming more of a coffee stop. It's more of a, hey, swing in and come say hi and shoot the breeze, and it's more of a family. It's that community piece. I think, why you're one of our favorites. Sure, you've been around this organization for a while and you've done some great things, but there's a personability about you where, we can come up and shoot the breeze, and I can slip up on my words, or I can completely bomb an interview or whatever. And no matter what, you're still going to be extremely easygoing about it. We can talk candid off record and whatever else, but there's that personability about you, which, you know, Jed Roberts has, Trent Brown, like some of the names that you had mentioned earlier. You know, what do these all have in common? Niles Morgan as well. You know, like there's certain pieces, certain players, certain members of the organization that are also glue for all of this. And you're one of those, man. So, you know, thanks a lot for sticking around Edmonton for so long, calling it home, and of course, obviously being here with us right now. But it's fantastic to see where you're at now in the city, in the organization, and we're always going to celebrate that.
I appreciate that. I do, you know, and my biggest thing, and it's something that I've heard, obviously, and so I'm stealing it, and I'm going to say it, you know, to any young athletes who might be hearing this. You know, when you get people and alumni and veterans around you like that, and they give you so much knowledge in game, first and foremost, you need to take it in. You know, you're not going to use all of it, but there's going to be some gems in there. And then secondly, that advice is only as good as the next person you give it to, right? So don't gatekeep that information. You know, there's enough out there for all of us to eat and all of us to learn. So, you know, I wouldn't be where I am without the advice of the people before me. And Edmonton has my word that I'm giving all that advice back to every single player that walks through that building right now.
Love it, love it. I'm ready to run through a wall now. Oh wow, let's throw some hats. All right, we do have some fun questions here before we let you go. All right, so 2015 player Aaron Grymes going into big games versus 2025 Coach Grymes. Okay. Playlist. What were you listening to 2015?
Oh, 2015. Oh man, the first thing that pops up was like early days Nipsey Hussle for me. I'm a big West Coast guy, you know, so probably has some Nipsey Hussle playing. Might have had like some sort of, you know, whatever the locker room was listening to at the time. Probably would have been going crazy for me. But when we got back in from warm-ups and it was time to really lock in for the game, I had to turn on some Nipsey Hussle for sure.
Love it. And then what are you listening to now?
Now I'm still a West Coast guy, but I'm probably listening to. They got a West Coast playlist on Apple now. You know, things have changed a little bit, so I can just turn that on. But if I need artist specific, I'll probably go with like Mozzie or Rex Life Raj, because he speaks. You know, he raps and he speaks about real life stuff, and that's kind of where I come from. But it's the same mindset. You know, you go out there, I still get the butterflies. So
love it. I'm gonna have to.
Little Kendrick.
You're right.
Obviously, got to put some Kendrick on there.
Just a little bit of Kendrick, a little bit of
Kendrick, some Mozzie, some Rex, things like that. Yeah.
Rex. Okay,
getting some recommendations
hey,
here. Writing it down.
My records right here. Gotta listen to what Grimes is listening to, man. All right. Next one, game day tradition. So 2015. Did you have any big traditions?
You know, it's crazy. It's 2015. I did. Like, I would go to. If it was a weekend game, my family was up here. We'd probably go to Tutti Frutti for breakfast or something like that, especially because kids eat for free on Saturday. So I was trying to save $1. I think it's Saturday. Probably like stop by Subway or something like that on the way to the stadium. You know, we kicked a lot of ass that year, so we would celebrate late games, of course. We celebrate with some McDonald's. I tried to do that same tradition in 2018, and 2018 started really well. And then it went really not well. We ended up missing the playoffs by a game. And then I realized this McDonald's is not the trick. I thought this post-game McDonald's was it. I thought Tutti Frutti was it. So yeah, it's weird. I have, you know, later in my career started to realize, and even as a coach now, like those kind of traditions don't matter quite as much. That's when I start telling people I'm a little bit stitious, but I'm superstitious.
Just a little stitious.
So modern day, today, present day, you've dropped all the traditions.
Ish, yeah. You know, the it's more work habit traditions now. So like, how many scout cars did I draw last week? Did we win or did we lose? Because it was either good enough or it wasn't good enough. and you got to repeat that process. So
there's the little stitches. I
Little
like that.
stitches. Yeah, do you have a post game meal stop nowadays?
I don't now. Now it's more for the family. Like, where do you guys want to go? Also, because as a player, I came in the next day kind of whenever I wanted. As a coach, I got to be in. The film's got to be graded. The reports got to be done. They got to be sent in, and I need to be ready for the defensive staff meeting to watch the film again with the defensive staff. So there's some very late nights and very early mornings in the season time. So I don't really have. If we have an earlier game, I'll go out to eat with the family, but we're not stopping at McDonald's anymore because if I'm going to pay $60 for a meal, I'm going to go sit down for it.
Fair.
Spitting truths over here. Alrighty. Hey, game day baby in the herd chat. This is Ken Chapka saying bone baby.
That's right. For life.
Great. So good. I guess guilty. One last question from my end. What's it like having Dwayne Mandrzak back? Like, did that make a big impact behind the scenes?
Absolutely, it does. You get a pillar in Double E football, like a legit legend in Wheezy. So it's great having him back. I love seeing him around the stadium. He always takes the time to not just speak to me. That's easy because we spent hours together joking with each other and things like that. But then he's walking around the concourse and he sees my wife and kids and he remembers who they are. Right, like I couldn't tell you how many people Wheezy has met throughout his tenure in Edmonton, but he remembers people, and it means something to him. And that is, when we talk about Edmonton and Bone, and once an Eskimo, always an Eskimo. Wheezy, you talk about people who live and die and breathe that kind of stuff, And then he's given stadium tours to season seat holders, and at least during the season, of course, we'd still be in there late at night when he was there. He'd come in and he'd see like, oh, AG, you got 4 or 5 minutes, come say hi. I got a group out here. Yeah, no problem. I'd love to. For a guy like you, yeah, let's make that happen. Not an issue. And then you always walk out there and you get some season seat holders who would just love to be there, and it kind of breaks up that the boring, mundane task, whatever I was probably doing at my computer, gives me a chance to get up and have a little conversation. I like speaking to people, having a conversation, and probably eat some candy on my way back to my desk. A little sugar rush.
Oh, I love it. We won't take much more of your time here, Aaron. We really appreciate it. Where can our viewers find you online?
Online, like social media platforms?
Correct, yeah.
I'm on Instagram a little bit. Antarctic AG, I think _206 has my name still. On Twitter, Grymes 36. I try to be more professional, you know what I mean? Because I got gray hair in my beard, and I got a kid who's almost a teenager, so I try to change my handles. Apparently, you can't change them after you make them. So
it's like those hotmails that just haunt.
Yeah, So if people wonder, like, well, what the hell does that mean on Instagram? Well, I was the young once, and I'm cold-blooded. I'm Antarctic AG 206. I always got to rep.
I did wonder.
I've always wondered. Yeah,
what it is. I told myself I had ice in my veins, and 206. I'm West Seattle's home. Is where I was born and raised. My parents still. I'll be there for Thanksgiving next week. Well, I tried to go in and change it. Coach Grymes now, and Instagram doesn't even have a help department, so it is what it is.
Oh, love it. I have wondered, so thank you.
There you go. There you go. You guys can roast me for it for the rest of our time knowing each other.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll bust out the breaking news button here. Yeah,
Aaron Grymes has ice in his veins.
AG, let's go. Great. Man, so good. Fantastic chat. Always love seeing you, whether it be in person or, of course, virtually as well. So, yeah, man, we really, really are appreciative. Can't thank you enough for your time tonight. We hope you have an amazing off season and holidays extended to the family as well. We can't wait to see you again, man.
Absolutely. Kathy Scout, you guys know I love speaking to you guys whenever I see you. I will say, you mentioned the holidays. So I'm gonna mention the holidays too. It's obviously a great time. I just mentioned I'll be back in Seattle for Thanksgiving with my family, in Idaho with my wife's family for Christmas. Not everybody gets to enjoy those times in the holidays. So if for anybody listening, you got a little spare time, a little spare change, do what you can, lend a hand, lend a couple dollars to, a family in need, young kids in need, because we know how special these times are to us, whether it's breaking bread with your family or opening gifts with your kids. Not everybody really gets to experience it the same way that, I myself do. So, if you got a chance to get out there and fill a stocking or serve a meal, why not? Go spread some holiday cheer.
Love that.
Thank
Love
you for
that.
that. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Now I want to run through a wall and
Again.
go donate somewhere. No.
I love it.
Great message. And we need to do more of that, I think, as a society.
Yes.
And that also is what makes you an Edmontonian. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I love it, man. Great message. Awesome chat tonight. Always feel guilty for taking you longer than what we request for. So, I know Mike's all good stuff, but
no apologies are needed for that kind of stuff. I'm the one over here blabbering.
no, we good, man. We good. Wish we could get you for hours, but once again, can't thank you enough, man. We will let you enjoy the rest of your night, but happy holidays, and once again, we can't wait to see you again, my man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Have a good night, Aaron.
Have an awesome night.
Bye.
And that was Aaron Grymes, number 36 of your Edmonton Elks and Edmonton Eskimos, formerly of.
Yes, we did see a couple of other questions. We apologize that we didn't get a chance to get to them. We only had half an hour with Aaron. We already took a little bit more time than that.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for your questions, and we'll pass them along.
Alrighty, without further ado, please welcome to the show, formerly number 31, but currently number 5, running back for your Edmonton Elks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Justin Rankin.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Justin, man, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you joining us tonight. Is it safe to say the weather is better wherever you're at?
No, it's snowing.
Oh.
It's snowing. It's cold. I got a shovel every day. I mean, it's still colder. It's colder in Edmonton, but I didn't leave the cold to go somewhere warm. I left the cold to go to cold.
And where exactly are you right now?
I'm in Ohio, like the Cleveland area.
Okay, yeah, you did go back to Ohio. Nice. So, you're kind of feeling it right now as well. It's like you haven't even left.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. I was like, at least I thought I would get some, warmer weather. Straight to the cold.
Brutal. Well, hoping you're staying warm as well. Thanks a lot for joining us once again. Everybody that is watching who is staying warm with us as well, we're thankful for that. Make sure you throw in your questions and comments into the herd chat, and we will get them onto the show here. Question number 1, we'd like to get to know you first here, Justin. You were born and raised in Ohio, hailing from a town called Oberlin. So what started your path as a young athlete growing up in Ohio?
Shoot, man, my parents just kind of like threw me into sports, every sport that there was. A family friend played football, and they put me in the football team, and it was just kind of history after that. My mama tell you I kind of hated football for the longest. I was a basketball guy. She kind of dragged me to practice every day, to football practice. The coaches, were begging me to play every year, and I just kind of stuck with it. And I played every sport up until my junior year of high school. That's when I kind of started to focus on football and just ran track, things like that. I mean, I was a 5'9" point guard. I don't think I was gonna go play basketball nowhere, but I still played. I played every sport that you can think of. My mom was a volleyball coach. I played volleyball. I did it. I did everything. I was just an athlete.
Sports were in your veins.
Yeah, they're in my veins. My entire family. My sister, my brother, everybody played something.
Oh, I love that. And who are your idols early on?
I'll be honest, I didn't have any idols. I didn't really watch sports. I still don't watch sports. I don't watch football. So, I don't know, I was watching, cartoons, anime, stuff like that. I'm running around the woods like Naruto and stuff. So, I guess you could say he was my idol, but, I don't think I really had any, like, athletes that I idolized, when I was younger.
I like that. And anime, I mean, anime is always good stuff.
Come on, man.
Kathy would attest, yeah. Now, I'm in high school. How do you pronounce it? Illyria?
Yeah, Lyric Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah, so Illyria Catholic, you actually ended up earning all Ohio honors like 3 times. So you also excelled at track, the 200-meter dash specifically. I'm an 800-meter guy. I love that.
Yeah.
Did get bronze I got bronze. Obviously, I didn't get any all Ohio honors or anything, but how important were your high school years for your future success?
Yeah, I mean they were huge. The crazy part is like, my freshman year I was ineligible to run track. I was almost ineligible to play football. And it kind of like just like a reality hit, and I was like, oh dang, like, I gotta kind of focus on school and sports, So I think they were huge. They were huge to me and just like growing, as a young kid, as a young man, and understanding how important things were like outside of football and off the field in terms of working out, things like that. I was driving 30, 40 minutes to go train around other Division 1 athletes, shoot Denzel Ward, he went #1 overall, coming out of college, Jerome Baker, I'm around some of the best athletes, and it was huge. I wasn't playing against them, so it was huge to get around them in the off season and just kind of get better, just iron sharpens iron.
I hear that a lot, and I know that we kind of even see flashes of that here in Edmonton right now, but
Yeah.
taking your off season seriously or taking those in between game pieces, right? Taking that very seriously, trying to level up yourself. We hear that from, some of the most successful athletes. So that's amazing. Now, kind of getting into your college career, you did start with the Kent State Golden Flashes, but then after 2 years, you decided to play for the Northwest Missouri
Yeah.
State Bearcats, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
I spent 3 years with Kent, 1 year with Northwest. It was a journey. Like I thought I was going to graduate, all 4 years from Kent. Finish all 4 years out there. Like I loved that school, and it was amazing. But it was just a different picture for me. God had a different plan, and I'm happy that I took the path that I took. I love Northwest. They showed a lot of love to me, and ultimately, like I had a lot of fun there playing football again.
yeah, sorry, 3 years. Didn't have that, but that's
Yeah.
I think looking at your stats, like 2019, you could tell that there is a definitive level up. So, like, what would you say attributed to that?
I just think the biggest thing was like kind of the coaches, believing in me a little bit. Not necessarily saying like some of my coaches at Kent didn't, but there definitely was like not as much belief, while I was at Kent as there was, when I was at Northwest, right? At Kent it was just tough. Like, I wasn't getting the ball as much. I don't think that there was the quality level of like guys that were bought into the organization, bought into the program. Shoot, even down to some coaches that I don't think were bought into the program. But there were some of coaches that I met that I still talk to this day. As a whole, while I was there, it wasn't what I needed at the time. And I decided to make the best decision for myself. To further my career. And when I got to Northwest, they showed a lot of love. The coaches from day one, they believed in me. They decided to build the offense around what, my abilities, and, the guys bought into that too. Like, it wasn't me being selfish, but, they also bought into that as well. And I bought into them. And there was a lot of guys that succeeded just from us believing in each other. And, it was nice to be around a group of guys and a group of coaches like that.
That's amazing. So, obviously in part to the coaching as well, but would you say it was it was a little bit more than just opportunity, let's say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely opportunity, right? Like, anybody would tell you the more you're getting the ball in your hands, like the more you have opportunities to make plays. And when you're playing at an elite level, like you're gonna make more plays. So it definitely was like just them giving me more opportunities to showcase, my ability.
I love it. And I mean, 1,050 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, 14 games. Like that's a crazy 2019 for you, man.
That was at Northwest. I didn't even know that. So
Yeah, Northwest. That's the stats.
okay,
So,
yeah, yeah,
that's your first 1,000-yard rushing
yep.
season, I would presume.
Yeah, well, it was. That was my first 1,000 yard. After high school, obviously, like collegiate career, that was my first 1,000 yard. I think before that, shit, I think the most I had was maybe like 500. 500 rushing, 400 receiving, something like that. So, it was nice to be able to, you know, kind of eclipse 1,000 for the first time. It felt good, you know. It felt good to be in a team that like everybody, you know. Like again, I always preach like any back that has 1,000 yards, that's a team effort. So you know, it was nice to have guys like going out there giving 100% every play.
It's amazing. Yeah. Crazy stat with the Bearcats, right? And
Yeah.
after that, didn't get drafted, but you did end up playing arena ball with 3 teams. Could you tell us a little bit more about your IFL days, man?
Man, yeah, I could write a book on that stuff, but it's amazing. I love the IFL. Like, shoot, I was just training today, you know, throwing with a guy that was about to go play in the IFL, and you know, it just it makes me happy to see guys like kind of believing in arena football and like you know taking their opportunity, taking their chance to go play it. Because I mean, shoot, it gave me a chance to keep playing ball. You know, if I would have gave up and not played arena and you know just quit arena and never go back to it, I want to be in the CFL. You know, I want to be where I'm at now. So you know, it's huge shout out to you know the IFL, and they're only going up. Like everything they do every year is getting better. The sponsors, the broadcast, everything they're doing is trying to like continue to be able to showcase you know all these athletes that kind of get overlooked, you know, or just you know don't get a chance at all to you know even get to the NFL. So it was a huge opportunity for me. I came out that COVID year. A lot of my workouts got canceled. My rookie mini camps got canceled. You know, I think all those things got canceled for me. So it was huge that arena was like one of the only leagues still going on. And you know, my buddy Malik Duncan kind of, you know, he dragged me out to Bismarck, North Dakota, the middle of nowhere. You know, I'm like, what am I doing out here, man? Like this is crazy. We're having meetings in the, you know, coach's apartment. I'm like, what is this? You know, this is crazy. I'm sitting on the floor. We're all sitting on the floors and couches watching film. So it's levels to it's levels to it, and you know a lot of us could have gave up, but you know we stuck through it. We played. I still know some guys from that team, you know, 4 years ago that are still playing arena, and I mean I think it's just like you said, it's about opportunity, and it gave me 3 years of opportunity, shoot 3.5 years of an opportunity to showcase my abilities.
Oh man, and glad that you made that route too, because obviously it led you to Edmonton. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Shannon Brooks,
Yeah,
Dean Faithful,
come on.
obviously everybody knows the Kurt Warner story, right? So it's like there's different opportunities out there, and I think what's really cool about your story is you just kept grabbing the next best one,
Yeah.
and you gave yourself that opportunity to showcase yourself, and once again with the double E, you did that as well. So the CFL, like when did you decide to go that route, and how did you decide to go that direction?
Yeah, one of the arena coaches actually, his name is Mike Davis. He coaches for the Vegas Nighthawks team. He's the head coach. Um, he came to me after my third season with the Bay Area team, and he was like, if I get you, if I help you get a contract, like, would you take it? Like, is that something that interests you? Because he was like, I got some coaches that are interested, and I was like, man, heck yeah, like I'll sign it today. And shoot, an hour later, a couple hours later, like there's a contract in my email, and I'm like, shoot, like let's do it. Like I haven't even talked to any coaches at this point, like I didn't talk to Coach Jones, J Jack, like I haven't spoke to nobody. The first time I even seen a coach was in meetings in the off season, a couple weeks before camp. Coach Howe, when they moved me to receiver, so I'm going into the CFL, my first opportunity as a receiver, and the first time I saw a coach was 2 weeks before camp. So, but I was just kind of rolling with the punches, and again, it was an opportunity. Like I knew I always belonged, and my biggest thing was I just want to see where I line up against some of these guys that like are in this higher league than me. And my is the arena football like my plateau, and I can live with that if it is. But I want to see like where I line up against these guys. Like, am I just as good? And do I need to go work on something more? Like, where am I compared to them? So that was my mindset really going in. Was just I want an opportunity just to see, where my abilities, how they add up to somebody else's abilities. And I got cut, right? Like everybody knows that I got cut, and I was okay with that. Like the biggest thing for me was going out to a camp and being on this outdoor field again and showing like how much better I've gotten since I was in college. That was the biggest thing for me.
And getting your foot in the door, I guess, is even
Yeah.
secondary to that. But it's so cool to hear that you're almost looking at this as, where do you stack up against this league, this competition, these other
Yeah.
players, and that's special, man. Like that's some compete level that you don't hear of too often because a lot of guys are just, oh, I just want the opportunity, right? Well, or I want to go play professional ball. I just want to play professional ball. No, you were kind of looking at it even more personally than that, which is amazing. Before we proceed, big shout out to everybody that's watching live right now. Please make sure to get your questions in here. We do see a rules question here from John Hayden. We'll talk about that near the end of the more you didn't know, but Edmonton. I talked to Rick Saratella about you today. Awesome scout who was with the Double E at that time. I just kind of asked, hey man, like, did you scout this guy? He's like, man, Justin Rankin mostly did this himself. Like I'll tell you right now, man, like Justin Rankin made that opportunity for himself. He made that path for himself. But speaking of Edmonton, did you know anything about this city or this organization before you came here?
I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about the CFL. I watched a couple of games because my friend, my teammate, and my friend Dustin Crum and Jamal Parker, Najee Murray, they all played in the CFL. So, I kind of would watch a game every now and then, watch some highlights, but I knew nothing about the CFL. I didn't know the team names, none of that. So it definitely was like a big change, little learning curve, to be able to come up here and, just kind of adapt on the fly.
And man, did you ever? Now, speaking of adapting, what was it like having to go from classic American football rules to arena rules to then
Yeah.
Canadian rules?
Yeah, it was crazy, but I think that it like in turn, like it put me at an advantage because like I've had to learn so many different rules, so many different playbooks. In arena, I played for 3 different teams in 3 years. Like I was learning a different playbook every year. There was new rules being added every year, so it really like it was like it's just another obstacle that like I know how to overcome these. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna study the playbook, I'm gonna study the rules, make sure I understand how the game is played, and I always tell people like once I understand how this game is played, like, it's over with. Like I'm gonna take it over. Like I just need to understand how it's played and feel comfortable enough to play it. That's really was the biggest thing, and that first year when they brought me back, I was still trying to understand how the game was played. Shoot, even this past season, a lot of people don't even realize like that's my first full season. Like, and even a year before that, like I was on the sideline. I was a second, third string running back. Sometimes not even getting in the game. So that was I used to tell Cody like, Cody, this is my first full season, dude. Like, you gotta cut me some slack on some of this stuff. I don't know what's going on. He's like, I know, I keep forgetting. I'm like, yeah, like, dude, I was here, but I wasn't playing for real.
Well, exactly, man. You're basically were signed in November. There's
Yeah.
training camp cut. That was in 2024, and then you were signed onto the practice roster, and then finally elevated August 2024. And in that first game, that was 3 shots into the end zone, 3 touchdowns, 108 rushing yards. Uh, was that game like a coming out party for you, or
Wait, what game? What game was that? What game was that?
one of your biggest games in August? I want to say, was this like one of your first starts or one of your first
Oh yeah,
games?
yeah. I think that was Winnipeg. You're right, Winnipeg. I believe it was. I know you're talking about though. Yeah, I think that kind of. I mean, like you can say it was like a coming out party, but I think I was playing well. Like I think I was playing just like that the entire season. I was getting the ball less than 6 times a game, right? Like we had Leak, who ended up being a starter because KB went down, and I mean Leak's first game, he went for 3 touchdowns and 190 yards against Sask. So, I mean he was playing his butt off, but I think I just was overlooked by how good he was playing, right? Like, but I was right there with him. I was rushing the ball 70, 80 yards a game. I had a couple of touchdowns here and there, but I was getting the ball 4 or 5 times a game. Like that was really it. And I was cool with that, right? Like I was learning the game. I was like just trying to get acclimated. Like Leak was balling out. I tell Leak every day, like, dude, you're phenomenal. Like you're one of the best football players I've ever seen, like with my own eyes. So it just was the situation I was in, right? Like I don't think that was necessarily my coming out party. Everybody in the team knew what was going on. Even other teams that like played against me, like they would come up to me after the game, like when you get your shot, like it's going to be dangerous, and I think that just kind of shoot the rest was history after that.
Oh, exactly, man. Since then, you've been a beast in the backfield to be on, rushing your way to another like your second 1,000-yard season, or at least another 1,000-yard season. But this time, finally with the double E here in 2025. And I mean, you're continuing your reign as a powerhouse running back alongside Javon Leake, as you just mentioned. Thunder and lightning, as you
Come
guys
on,
call each
baby.
other. Oh man, I love it. Would you say you guys feed off each other as teammates, or like what's that dynamic like in the running
Yeah.
back room?
Oh, for sure, man. Like, I mean, it's literally like a thunder and lightning, like every time you hear the thunder, like that lightning strike, and like there's not one without the other. So, um, I mean, we definitely feed off each other. Like during a game, like if I'm having a down game, like he's in my ear, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, like pick the energy up, like and vice versa, right? And I think that's huge. Like I think that's huge that we're able to hold each other accountable and not be sensitive about it, right? Like he'll let me know when I'm playing like crap, and I'll let him know like, hey man, like you're not playing like the Javon Leak I know. You know what I mean?
You guys
Like
are
get out of
holding
your head.
each other accountable then.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I think that elevates the room, and not only that, that elevates the entire team. When they're seeing on the sideline, like two of the guys like kind of just like, hey man, like come on, like you not playing like Javon Leak. I think it shows them like, hey, okay, just because that's Javon Leak don't mean that he can slack off, or just because that's me, I can't slack off. Like we're all in this together. We all have one big picture, one goal. That's to win football games, right? Like so. Like there ain't no need to get sensitive. Like we trying to win. It ain't about right and wrong. Like let's win, man. Like and we got to bring that juice every time. Like let's bring the juice every time.
Oh man, you guys do, and I mean, you're becoming a fan favorite here in Edmonton. Javon Leake, he's got the Jets, man. You got that ground and pound. It's a combination we haven't seen in Edmonton for a hot minute, and super thankful to have you both. You guys are amazing at that position, and can't wait to see more in 2026. That's for
Yeah.
darn sure. But man, 2025, got to ask, what was your favorite touchdown, courtesy of yourself?
Dang, favorite touchdown? Like my touchdown?
Yeah, man.
Um, dang, I would have to. I think the Sask touchdown, either the Sask or the Winnipeg. Like I'm kind of tied between those two. I just think that both of them showed like our whole team, like backs against the wall. It was 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1. And it was like we need these plays, and everybody stepped up to the plate, right? Like there was a hat on a hat. I'm outrunning guys, making guys miss. You got receivers blocking down the field. You got linemen blocking down the field. Meeting me in the end zone, like with our backs against the wall, like against two of the best teams. You know, every year in the league. Like you got one was the champions this year, and then you got Winnipeg, who's a powerhouse every year. And that I think that just shows the resilience and maturity of our entire team, our entire offense as a whole was just like, man, like we need these plays. We just need the first down, and we turn them into touchdowns. I think that's huge. So it's out of one of those two. They're tied for me.
Love it, love it. I know some casuals that still love that Labor Day rematch. So, yeah, man, yeah. There's you had quite a few memorable
You
moments
can't go
now.
wrong with that game either.
Oh man, you can. It's the best game of the year here in Edmonton. Besides playoffs, obviously, and we'll get back
Yeah.
there. But St. John Sperling here in the herd chat. What up, St. John? He does ask, what is your favorite play of your career?
Oh man, of my career. I think my freshman year we played Alabama. I had like a 50 or 60 yard run against them, like my first touch of the game. Um, I think that gave me like a huge confidence boost in terms of like, okay, like I wasn't just delusional about like how good I was. I can play with the best.
You can do
Um,
this.
yeah, I can do this. It's either that one or just shoot my favorite game, Penn State. My first ever collegiate game was Penn State at Penn State, a whiteout, sold out crowd. 100 plus thousand in the crowd. I'm an 18-year-old kid. Like this is crazy. I can't even hear my quarterback call his cadence. So one of those plays in those games probably. But I think the Alabama one tops them all.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can do something like that against a powerhouse, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty special, and I
Come
mean,
on,
it's kind of
that was
cool.
they
That's
had all 11 go get drafted that year on defense. So
oh,
yeah, it was
exactly, yeah.
huge.
Oh, love it, man, love it. Now let's get into some fun Christmas questions here. Have a couple of those, and then we will get to the other herd chat questions here. So, okay, Christmas, it's that time of year. You know what it is. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Favorite holiday movie? Probably The Grinch.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely The Grinch. Actually, I love The Grinch, but I like the new Grinch now. The new one that just came out, it came out last year or something. Like the new animated Grinch. I like
Yeah, the
that one.
animated one. Yeah.
Yeah, the original one is definitely like OG top tier, but the new animated one is good. They got some good. I think Tyler the Creator was singing the songs or whatever. They got some
Oh,
catchy songs on there.
beauty. I'm gonna have to check that. I don't think
Yeah,
I've watched it yet.
it's pretty
That's a me
good.
problem.
Pretty good.
Uh, what about holiday treats? What's your favorite?
Cookies, man. I got a crazy sweet tooth. Like I try to keep cookies at the house because I'll eat them all. Like I love cookies. You know, the little sugar cookies with the Hershey kisses in it. Oh man,
Okay,
you
you're a
make
sugar cookie guy then, not
yeah
shortbread?
you make those for me. I tell you what, man, we best friends for life.
I love it. I think Janelle, make a note, Janelle. We'll let her know, or Mrs. Boozy Cupcakes, man. All right, holiday game or activity. Is there any particular activities, tobogganing, any of that?
I like sledding. I haven't been sledding in a long time, but like I do like sledding. Um, but like cutting the Christmas tree down, like we cut the Christmas tree down every year, besides the fact that I gotta cut it down and it takes me forever and I'm tired and I'm sweating in the snow cutting this Christmas tree down. But that's
See,
that's
that's
pretty
all
fun
fun,
though.
right?
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Um, Now, if you could ask Santa for one present this year, just one, what would be like physical present?
Physical present. Um Man, a physical present. I'll probably say like some new darts. I just put my dartboard up. I want some new darts. Either new darts or a new bowling ball.
I like that. You like darts and bowling. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
You're a darts guy. Are you like? Can you do the triple 20? Can you nail the triple 20?
I mean, like if I'm feeling good, yeah. Like if I'm feeling good, I'll hit that. But I like playing darts. It's fun. Good time passer. So
That's awesome, man. No, right on. Yeah, we got one. We got a dartboard right around the corner.
yeah, I love it.
It's so good. Arcade games in general and bowling. Like, do you have your own bowling ball, like a custom bowling ball or
Oh yeah,
anything?
I got three of them.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome, man. F&A. So Santa better treat you well this year.
Dude, it'll be nice.
All right, and then if you have to play in a snow game, do you have any concerns about your ability dashing in the snow?
No, I mean honestly, like it makes it easier because like people slip off you, they slide off you, they don't want to tackle. You know what I mean? Do I prefer it? Heck no. But like I can definitely do it. I played it my whole life. I played icy games, snowy games, rainy games, blizzards. So it definitely doesn't like hinder my ability at all.
Yeah, you're not a Florida boy. You're an Ohio boy, so
Uh,
it's not like this is unfamiliar territory
oh,
for you.
nitty gritty, hard nosed football, baby.
Love it. And I mean, this team used to be called the Eskimos, so there's obviously snow here in
Yeah,
Edmonton during the playoff stretch. So I'm hoping that we get to see that sometime soon, my friend.
yeah. Come on, we're gonna do
Let's,
that.
let's get it. All right, so we got some fan questions here in the herd chat. We got a couple good ones. We might not be able to get to all of them because Justin Rankin does have his own holiday festivities to get to, but let's take a look at this one by John Kirby. What up, John? Do you watch the NFL on Christmas Day?
I don't even watch the NFL.
Love it.
I can't tell you the last time I watched an NFL game. I think I've been to one NFL game ever in my life. I don't know. Watching football doesn't interest me.
So you don't got a favorite team then?
I don't got a favorite team. I don't got a favorite player. Leak makes fun of me all the time because he talks about all these like great players, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know who that is. Like, he's like, what do you like? He like gets mad. What do you mean you don't know who that is? Like, there's no way you don't know who that is. I'm like, dude, I have no idea who that is. Like, he's
Oh,
like,
that's
dude,
amazing.
he's like, you're ridiculous.
Okay, question then. Do you watch darts?
Every now and then I'll watch some live tournaments and stuff going on, but not too often. I watch bowling more than I watch darts. I just started playing darts probably last year or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Nice. I mean, hey man, I hope the journey on darts goes amazing.
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean,
I'm getting better at it every day.
yeah, you seem to crush it at whatever you do. So I mean, I really don't doubt this, and I'd be scared to play you at this rate. Um, now Ryan Nervous does ask here. What up, Ryan Nervous? He does ask, what's the hardest stadium to play in?
Oh man, Sask, 1,000%.
Is it the
Like no,
noise?
not
And
yeah, no brainer. Nobody's close. Winnipeg is like up there, but Sask, like man, they're loud.
so it's mostly the noise there, and then obviously the fans. Yeah, they give it to you
Yeah,
there.
they're rowdy, man. They're right in your ear. I'm like, this is crazy. Calling your name on the bike the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I
crazy.
I couldn't imagine, man. And I mean, you guys seem to perform pretty well in Saskatchewan, which
Yeah,
is, testament to what you guys do on the turf. But yeah, I mean, they do have the nicest stadium that's
heck
designed
yeah.
to kind of boom on top of you as well, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I like playing in it though. Like I love playing there. I love playing Winnipeg. Anywhere, playing in front of a lot of crowds. Like I mean, that's a huge reason. Like why we play football is because it's fun to play in front of an audience, right? Like so that's always fun to do.
Oh, I love it. John Hayden here. He does say he doesn't watch the NFL and plays darts. I am getting his jersey now. I like
Come
it.
on, you got to go get that.
Love it. And then he also does say Justin needs to come play the Snowflake Dart Tourney at the River Cree in February. So something to put on your radar, anyways. And then we'll take one more question here in the herd chat. Let's do, what is your favorite food to have for dinner on Christmas?
Oh shoot, dang. Probably the mac and cheese. Like we make mac and cheese for every holiday, and I'm a diehard mac and cheese fan as long as it's made right. If they make it good, nice and cheesy, oh yeah, I need the mac and cheese.
What you
I eat
made
the mac
right?
and
Like
cheese
like
all day.
no bacon, like don't add anything to it.
Shoot, you can. I'm down for the bacon. I get down with the get down when you put bacon and stuff. I love bacon, but if you don't add it, like I'm cool with it too. But I like the mac and cheese at holiday season, at holidays. Any other day though, like I don't want to eat mac and cheese. But on holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'm here for the mac and cheese.
I love it. I love it. Mac and cheese is delicious no matter where you go. I mean, we
Yeah.
have our own craft dinner up here, as you know. What do you think of craft dinner?
What's crab dinner?
Did you have craft dinner when you were in Edmonton last? The KD, the little blue box of craft mac and cheese.
No, I did
Oh
not.
man,
I'll
and
have to
see, like
try it when I come up.
you should, because I mean, I know that you're mostly about it during the holidays, like you just
Yeah,
said, but it's worth a shot, man, because it's a little bit different than the traditional mac and cheese.
I'll definitely give it a try.
Might as well, man. Now, last couple questions here, Justin, before we let you go. We got to know. Your slogan is "You ain't ever seen nothing like it." Where did you come up with this beauty?
I gotta shout my man Jerminic Smith out. He was with the Elks, last year. He was on practice squad with us. I played arena football with him, and we just there was like, man, we just were animated. Like there was a whole bunch of slogans we always said. His huge one was, you ain't never seen nothing like it. And we just always rolled with it. Every time we played people like on the field, we just let them know, like, hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. And it was all day. We always had like, you want to know what we doing, check the stats. And my favorite one is, you got to just watch this. Like you can't do nothing but watch this. So it was a whole bunch of slogans that we said. It just the you ain't never seen nothing like it one just kind of stuck because I said it a couple times and people loved it. They ran with it. But if you watch some of the interviews, I've said a couple of different of our little slogans, our little one-liners. I love them. I think they're hilarious. They're catchy. And like shoot, anytime I posted my highlight the other day, and it was just you got to just watch this. Get the popcorn out. You got to watch this.
It's so good. It's character, man. It's character. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what makes a fan favorite here in Edmonton. Anybody can rush the ball or anybody can make it a special play or whatever, but it's those little slogans, throwing those
Yeah.
little ad libs in there that you guys do, man. And then the dynamics between you and Javon Leake. It's like, that's the direction that this team is going. And
Heck yeah.
yeah, man, like G. Roy Simon saw that in you. So many people have seen that in you, and the fans do as well now. And you sell jerseys and stuff, man, and that's something special. And this city loves having you here in Edmonton. We want to see as much Justin Rankin as we possibly can. But for now, you do have an off season. We do have to wait a little bit what did I see, like 153 days until preseason or whatever. But what does your off season look like, Justin?
Man, I'm just training, working, like kicking it with family, as much as I possibly can, because we'll be gone in 6 months. So yeah, that's really the biggest thing, is like I'm just on top of my training, on top of like, my teammates calling them every day, hanging out with all my friends as much as I possibly can, shoot, working, keeping money in my pocket, money in my family's pocket, and I'm just spending time with family, all my family.
And that sounds like a fantastic off season.
Heck yeah.
Family first, right? And the Double E is embodying that once again. And you're part of that. You're definitely part of the fiber of this team right now, and you're the people we want in Edmonton, right? So until you got to come back to the frigid tundra up here, you get to spend time with your family and try to level yourself up once again this off season. And
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man, you do fantastic work. No doubts that you're going to have a fantastic off season. It's great to hear that you are getting really good quality time in with your family and taking care of your chicken, taking care of your bread, as Marshawn Lynch likes to say, right?
Need that.
Get it. Man, we're not going to take any more of your time. Where can our guests find you online if you have an online presence?
Shoot, I'm really just on Instagram. I believe it's like __ J Rank. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, __ J Rank. Or you can just search Justin Rankin. I think it'll pop up too.
And they'll find you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Something, or go to the Elks page and they tag me in all types of stuff. You go find it on one of the tags.
And go find it on there, right? That's even easier. Perfect. Awesome. Well, man, we can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. We hope you have an amazing off season and holidays. Justin, we can't wait to see you again. Can't come soon enough.
Heck yeah, I appreciate you for having me, man. For real. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
All right.
And that was another best of episode of the Elks Call Season 3. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, as that's how you show your support around here. This episode was brought to you by RoyalRetros.com. Save 10% off your order by using code ShotgunSports. All caps, no spaces. They are the throwback kings. We love Royal Retros, and we know you will too. Once again, my name is Scout Natick, aka the rep from Section X. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. Cheers.